can fool the rest, but you can't fool me. You can't fool me. You can fool the rest, but you can't fool me. You can't fool me. You can fool the rest, but you can't fool. You can't fool me. You can fool the rest, but you can't. You can fool the rest, but you can't fool me. You can't fool me. You can fool the rest, but you can't fool me. You can't fool me. You can fool the rest, but you can't fool. You can't fool me. You can fool the rest, but you can't.
Hello, everyone. All right, just getting set up here. Running late today, but I figured let me start the show. Okay. So how's everyone? Thank you for coming. Who we got in your house? Ali. Hey, what's up, Knowledge? How you guys been? I see you guys are doing good with your channel. Yeah, good for you guys. Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, fine. If you can't hear me, let me know. All righty. So how's your channel doing there, Knowledge? All right. And yeah, I don't know if you knew, last week I had one show. I'm back. You know, had a lot of stuff going on in my life, so I had to straighten out stuff. So, and I was just getting sick of the same old story. Because, you know, people, everything I said a year, my last show, I had a show last week, and then before that, it was like about a year ago, and everything I basically was telling people on my channel happened. So, what do you say then when that happens, you know? Let me fix this camera a little bit. I mean, that's what happened, so... let me see if I move it over that way. Got to try to make it center. I don't want to look. All right, that's better. Yeah, so talking about topic of the show today is cowards. I personally feel that we don't have any leaders. Now, I watch a lot of different shows, and they're always talking about all these shows. They're giving people what they want to hear. They're telling them the white hats, who are like the good guys, like Trump and them, are in control, and they got the military and all this bullshit. And I'm saying, nah, that ain't happening, you know. I watch a show, War Room, with Steve Bannon. Now, Steve Bannon was one of Trump's right-hand guys, okay? And he said, no, there's no white hat bullshit. He said, that's all bullshit. There ain't nobody, military ain't in control. And, you know, the good guys are going to all of a sudden step up and save us, okay? Oh, my God. Accountability. What's up? I told everybody last week, I had a lot of stuff going on. I was just getting burnt out, and I had a friend dying of cancer, and I was taking care of him, and he took up most of my time. So I had no energy, you know, and I had to get my financial situation together. So I see your show, Accountability, is doing real good. I watched a couple episodes yesterday. I was watching it yesterday. You're doing good there. Keep it up, the good work. So I'm talking about cowards. So let's, you know, the reason why we're in the situation that we're in, I mean, it's very simple. I mean, it's all about our government, right? I mean, they're corrupt as hell. So there's nothing we can do about it. They're running this country like gangsters. But I keep saying I don't get it. And this is the part I don't get. Like, I just don't understand between the military, the FBI, the CIA, the Department of Justice, between all these organizations, nobody's stepping up. Now, you go with the CIA, right? Here, let me show you this. All right. Let's go with, all right. So, how many people work for the FBI? Well, let's get that out of the way. Here, let me share this with you. All right, let me share this. Hold on. That's how fast the earth is moving. That's not what I wanted up there. And, all right. So, I don't know why this thing ain't cooperating. All right, here we go. All right, so we'll put this up there. How many people work for the FBI? I'm still like trying to figure out all the things I could do with this. All right, and share screen. So, all right, how many people work for the FBI? So if you zoom in here, we got 35,000 people work for the FBI, okay? And they're not doing anything, right? So we got all that top brass. Then we got how many people work for the CIA? First of all, their budget is insane. It's like 26 billion. That's just the money that they're showing you. But let's see how many people work for the CIA. CIA has, hold on, I had it here. How many people work for the FBI? Central Intelligence Agency. I'll get back to it. And we got the Department of Justice, where there's 115,000 employees. Okay? So now we got CIA agents, FBI, and 115,000 people that work for the Department of Justice. Maybe we got 2 or 3 whistleblowers out of 200,000 employees. Where are the rest of these cowards? What are they, all cowards? All of them? 199,995 out of the 200,000 employees for those 3 things are all cowards. Then this is the best one. See, this is where I'm really screwed up. See, this is where we need these people to step in. Okay? These guys have to step in. And who is that? We would ask. I mean, it's very simple. Let me see. I tell you, they changed this thing a lot. It's a lot different now. Okay. So, how many generals are in the U.S. military? All right. You got 231 in the Army, 162 in the Navy, 198 in the Air Force, and 62 in the Marines. You got over 400 generals, just generals. Now, let's just say the top brass of all these generals are corrupted. What about the other 350? Let's say 50 of these generals are corrupted. What about the other 350 or 380 generals? Where are they? Why aren't they stepping up and arresting people? Look, we're all seeing what's going on up in Washington. There's no in between. No in between. They're gangsters. They're taking our money, and that's the way it goes. Now, the biggest problem is 435 people control the whole country. Now, I don't know if you're aware of this. When George Washington was the president, before he stepped down, it used to be there was one representative for every 40,000 people in the country. Okay? One rep for every 40,000 to keep the government under control. Then Washington, before he stepped down, they had a meeting and he wanted it 1 in 30,000. And they finally signed off on it. Now, as time went on, they figured, it went from 1 in 30, but then the next, because the government, we were growing, America was growing. So like after 1 million people, it went to 40,000. But the number capped out at 50,000. There should be one rep for every 50,000 people, okay? We got 435 reps between the Congress and Senate, right? This is why they could be corrupted, because it's not a big number, okay? You corrupt 300 people, okay? Because you got one rep for 758,000 people, one rep, all right? We got 340 million people in the country. So one rep for every 758,000, I figured out the number, person. Now, in reality, it should be one rep for every 50,000, right? One congressman or whatever it is, it's a rep. Small government, okay? This way they can't control us. So if you have one rep for every 50,000, you'd have thousands of congressmen and senators running our country, not 458, who, if you get 3/4 of them, or even 60% of them, you control everything. That's easy to corrupt. It's very hard to corrupt, if there's 30,000 reps in the United States representing us, it should be like 35,000 actual representatives representing 330 million people, whatever the number is. It's hard to corrupt all of that. It's easy to corrupt 200-300 people. And this is what happened. Now we got 458 people running the country between senators and congressmen. Probably 400 of them are either corrupted or leveraged or threatened or just cowards and go along with the whole thing. And they're just selling out America. And maybe you got 50, they can't do nothing. They can't fight. They're scared shit. They just go along, they keep quiet. None of them are fighting, right? But if you had it down to the original way, it's supposed to be one rep for every 50,000 people. And believe me, that's not a lot. I mean, if you had 1 million people, you would have 20 reps. So for every 1 million people, 20 representatives in the government. They couldn't corrupt all of those representatives. What's 20 times, let's see, 330 million? So if we got 330 times 20, you figure the number. That's like 6,600 reps or something like that. Congressmen and senators, So you couldn't corrupt that big number, but you could corrupt 200-300 people. So this is the problem we have. But what I don't get, I think the biggest cowards in this country are our generals and our military. These guys are patriots. They've been in generals for 40 years. It's not like they just became generals. They've been in the military service for 30, 40 years. And then we got all our police officers. Let's get into another thing later on, but most of them are going along with this shit. They're not obeying their oaths. They're going along with the game because they don't want to lose their job or their pension. But how is it all these generals, none of them are standing up? And then below the generals, you got colonels. I mean, what are they doing? Why are they letting the upper brass, basically they're demonic. They're doing all this demonic shit to us. Who we got here anyway? Let's see. Oh, MacGyver. Whoa. That's been a while. And just want to make sure everybody I know you're here. So why is that? All cowards. Every single one of them. I'll call them all out and tell them, I would tell any general I see right now, you're a coward. Because I don't see not one general a general that's active duty. Not a general that was a general like Michael Flynn. I'm talking about an active duty general actually going on the news and going, listen, we're being taken over. This is a coup. This is a communist coup what's going on right now. And we got our whole military sitting quiet. And then you watch these shows and they go, no. They know what's going on. They're in control. They're letting this all happen to teach the people a lesson. So you're telling me that all these fucking generals let all these people get a magic potion and millions of people dying, heart attacks and all kinds of shit, but they're trying to teach us a lesson. Give me a fucking break. If you watch a show, now I know there's definitely white hats. You got to understand. There's definitely white hats. And what a white hat is, it's a good guy trying to fight the bad guys. There's rich oligarchs that don't like this New World Order bullshit, okay? But they're not in control. The bad guys look like they're winning right now, if you ask me. Don't sit here. I swear, there's like 10 shows, all these guys, and they're huge. They got hundreds of thousands of viewers because they're telling people what they want to hear. They're telling them the fucking military and Donald Trump is still the president and they're controlling everything. And these guys, these people got 150, 200,000 viewers. Maybe I should start telling everybody, yeah, don't worry about it. I'll give you what you want to hear. I'll give you the good news. Oh, yeah, don't worry. Sit in your house. Trump's our savior. He's going to save us. The military's in control. Don't worry about it. Bullshit. Okay? And if they are, let's just for argument's sake say these guys are in control and this is all a meme and they're doing all this shit to us, they should be arrested. You can't sit here and let all this shit happen and then tell me you're trying to teach human people, mankind a lesson. Come on. Give me a break. They're cowards. That's what they are. Too many cowards. Then we got attorney generals. All right? We got 50 attorney generals. Here's a list of them all. Hold on. Let me see if I can get them. Let me see. All right, so that's the generals. Let's see if I can get this one up. Remove that. And anyway, there's 50 attorney generals in the country. You're telling me there's not one attorney general that's willing to fight the fight? 50 more cowards. So we got 50 cowards attorney generals. We got 430 generals that are cowards. Because if you're not telling me that these generals don't see that, we've been taken over by like a communist gangster coup. Even the Republicans are rhinos, most of them. They're just going along. Whether or not they're fighting, who knows? But they're definitely not fighting the fight. Definitely not. So what's going on? Does anybody, I got a question, by the way. Now, you have to understand that, though. If we had one representative for every 50,000 people, we wouldn't be in the same shit that we're in now. And that's what we need. Okay? We need small government and more representation from the people. This way the people are represented. And I'm telling you all along, look, we got 200,000 federal employees between CIA, FBI. We're not even counting cops yet. Okay? Then if we get into police commissioners and all this other shit, forget it. It's insane. You got 400,000 law enforcement agents and cops, and none of them are doing anything. Nobody's doing anything. Police chiefs, nobody's arresting anybody. Everybody's a coward. I can't believe that we got 430, like 2 generals, and none of them are standing up and going, no, this is bullshit. Arrest everybody. They just go in there and arrest people. The military could do it. But first, they got to get rid of the high brass. So you got to arrest them as traitors. The guys that are 4-star generals, they got to be arrested because they're not doing shit. I don't know, somebody calling. So that's the biggest problem we have. Our leaders are cowards. That's the topic of my show. every single leader is a coward. And now you got Donald Trump. He's the only one. We're really gonna think he's gonna save us? We should be ashamed of ourselves. So the way we're gonna have to save ourselves, I've been watching this this guy. What they're doing is they're doing this thing where they're getting, what was it called? I forgot the name. Hold on. I'll give you the name of what's going on. And let me see what the hell the name of it is. No, there's a group that's doing a lot of stuff right now. And something with civics. Let me see if I can find it. Anyway, I'll find it later on. But it's something to do with what they do is every town is getting their own grand juries and they're appointing their own people and they're making militias throughout the country. This shit's going on right now as we speak. All right. And I think there's like 450 towns already. They got their own militia. We got to get militias going. We're entitled to do that. And we become the law. We go arrest people because we're going to need militias. These people are not going to let us breathe. You got a small group of people. We're talking about a minute, not even like 1%. We're talking like 1% of 1% of 1%. We're talking about like 430 government reps and what? Another 100 oligarch giant billionaires that are controlling everything? I mean, come on. That's crazy. So our leaders are all cowards. Generals are cowards. The guys below the generals are cowards. You're telling me even if the top brass is corrupted and demonized, that the bottom generals, the other 300, 350, don't go arrest these other generals that are committing treason against the United States and allowing this coup? They see it. What do you think? They're blind? It's crazy. Most of these people have to be demonized. I mean, you got to understand, like I told people last week, this is a spiritual war. If you don't see it with your own eyes already, that there's demons, they're inside these people, and they can be possessed by more than one demon. Jesus Christ one time asked the guy, a demon, it's in the Bible, you could go look this up. He asked the demon, what is your name? And the demon said, Legion, there are many of us. That means there could be many demons in one person. They're controlling these people. The demons are controlling these people. There are spirits. If you don't believe in there's demons and the devil, then you haven't found God yet, okay? Because when you find God, you'll understand there's demons, because Jesus talked about demons constantly. You go in the Bible, you'll see he's talking about demons all the time. There are demons. There are spiritual creatures. You can't see them. Now, there's a lot of people lately saying they're seeing black shadows past them. It's all over the news all the time now. They're claiming, so many different people now saying they go home and their furniture's moved and things are happening and they think it's ghosts. No, those are demons. It's demons. I mean, when you get to know the Almighty God, you'll get to know who the devil and demons are. It's the only way you're going to understand. The reason why they don't believe in the devil and demons, because they're not believing in God. I mean, our country right now, the devil's plan was to get you away from God. He makes you so busy with your life, you don't even got time to think about God. Think about it. You wake up, right? You wake up, you grab something quick to eat, you go to work. When you're at work, you're calling your wife. You got to make her happy, make her think you care about her. You're at work, how you doing? And now you get out of work, you got to go to the store, buy some food. Then maybe you get home and you got to call the insurance company or somebody because your bill wasn't paid. And then you got to do your credit card bills and then you get home, your wife's got to cook, or you brought the food home, you had to go pick it up. Before you know it, you're eating. You watch a little bit of TV and you're back to bed, waking up, doing the same shit all over again. You're so busy that you ain't got time for God. People don't, that was the devil's plan. Keep you so fucking busy trying to just keep your lifestyle, okay? Just trying to keep your lifestyle, going to work like a dog, that you're going to always be busy. You're not going to have any time. So you're just kind of like God's in the background somewhere. So that's what the devil's done, man. He's real good at what he does. He's a deceiver. I mean, you can't, a lot of people, they don't believe in evil, so they can't fight it because they don't believe it exists. So, I mean, it's a waste of time with that. But does anybody even think to themselves, what happened to our military? What happened to them? They're all cowards. Every single general is a coward because there's not one general standing up right now saying, hey, they're taking over our country. This is a communist Marxist coup that's going on. They've been doing this for a long time. This has been planned. It took them a long time to cut every lever into place because now the technology is where they can basically monitor us because they passed all these laws so they're monitoring everything we do now. They got dead to the point where they're going to put cameras, like it's going to be like Europe, the United States. They're going to try anyway. It's going to be harder for them. There's no doubt. But we need, I think it's called Tactical, it just hit me, tacticalcivics.com. Go there, watch the video, and you'll understand what we have to do to take our country back. And what we basically have to do is get these small groups of townships. I forgot how many towns are in America, like 3,600 towns or something like that, or 36,000 towns. It's like a crazy number. And all these towns have to get their own grand jury, their own militia, and we have to take our country back because it's the only way. We're going to have to fight for it sooner or later, whether it be with, blood or not blood, maybe legally. But we're going to have to fight the people. The people have to start to stand up. We can't all just sit back and not do anything. Because if we do, we're going to have no country. And then you know what? It's going to take 10, 20 years to really destroy everything, maybe even 5. I'm not that bad. I lived my life. How about my grandkids? How about your grandkids? How about your grandkids' grandkids? Do you want to leave them in America that's a communist country? Because that's what they want to do. They want to give the social credit scores. They want to make this China 2.0. Hey, how are you? Oh, Asfaran. Oh, there he is. One of my favorite people. But no matter what you tell me, and I'll say it again. I hope somebody in the military sees this show and shows a few friends of theirs in the military. And I hope one of those cowards, the generals that are in the military, see my video. And I'm going to tell you, you're a coward. Every single general in the military is a coward because 350, maybe even 400 of them should be standing up against the top brass because the top brass is done. They're demonized. All right. There's either demons in them or they're leveraged or they're bribed or they're scared shit. It's one or the other. But it's their responsibility. The military just can't let our government get taken over. And once we get rid of, when we win, because we're going to win, once this is all said and done, we have to Congress cannot just be like 300 people running the country. Congress, it's 435 or something with the Senate. 2 senators per state. No, that's not enough people to represent us. All right? We need like a couple of thousand people, but in small things. Like they said, 1 congressman for every 50,000 people. That's normal. You know how much it costs us for? We spend on each representative, the American taxpayer, the congressmen and senators, $11 million per person to support their office and all their bullshit. $11 million. Now, I don't know if you realize that we do the census in this country. because they break up districts for each Congress and all them. And at the end of the year, whatever, at the end of their terms, they start fighting over how they're going to break up the districts because they're voting. There's one district, I think it's in Utah or Wisconsin. It's got 830,000 people in that district, and it's only part of the district. That means like one congressman has like 1 million people under his wing. How can one congressman handle 1 million people, handle their problems, handle their, grievances? You can't. So if you have one congressman for every 50,000 people, say even 100,000 people, let's go 100,000. It'd be a lot easier to handle people's grievances. Now, if you had one for every 100,000, that's 10 for every million. Okay? So we got 330 million. So you would have 3,300 congressmen. Now, they're all not going to be in a room together in one big giant place. I mean, they could do whatever. I don't know how they would work it out. But the point of the matter is, it'd be a lot harder to corrupt all those kind, and they have to stay local. That's another thing. So, like you're a congressman and you got 50,000 people that you're in charge. You stay in your town. You don't have to go to. We don't need Washington D.C. Okay, they could vote through computers, Zoom, or they could do a million things, right? So now the people get to see if their congressman, is corrupt. You see if he's taking bribes and everything. We don't need our congressmen all in Washington, D.C. What are they having, a party over there? I mean, the one guy said he's not a congressman anymore. He was the guy in the wheelchair. He said they're all having cocaine parties up there. These people that are running our country are demonic, evil people. They are possessed by demons, most of them. Now, some of them have just got caught up in their game. Their greed and their leveraged, and they can't do shit. Okay? But we're not represented, the people. George Washington didn't want it this way. He knew. All our founding fathers knew this shit was going to happen. They just didn't know that we would go down so easy. Soft. Well, soft. Our military is soft. All our generals are soft. All our colonels are soft. All our majors. Nobody's fucking standing up. There was one colonel that put out a report of the COVID shots, and they want to put him in jail almost. So, you can't just be one guy. There's going to be a group of them. They got to get together, and they're going to take it back. But they're not doing it. They're all worried about their pension. I don't know. That don't make sense to me. None of them are patriots. I don't get it. Don't get it. Let me see if I wrote some notes on some stuff. I mean, that's the bottom line. You can tell me anything you want. Our military is supposed to arrest almost all those congressmen and arrest all of them, then the senators, and then investigate them. Put them all away somewhere, and then figure out who's who. Biden? Are you kidding me? He's making deals with China. The Department of Justice now doesn't even want to investigate him. But all you do is you watch TV shows like Sean Hannity, right? They're all playing us like a fiddle. Sean Hannity talks. All he does is talk about the guy on Fox News. Oh, Biden's corrupt. We got all this stuff, but nothing's going on. Blah, 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 blah. And every fucking show I'm watching, he's talking about the same shit. Hey, why don't you talk about, how come none of them are talking about what are our generals doing? What are these cowardly generals doing? What are our cowardly attorney generals doing throughout the country? The one attorney general in Texas that they want to condemn him, he's going after Pfizer or something with the COVID stuff. That's the only guy that's even doing anything. Well, how about all the governors? What are the governors doing? They're cowards. Don't you understand? Like, it's everybody. Mayors are cowards. I didn't see one mayor during the magic, the Wuhan bullshit that came here from Wuhan, COVID, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I didn't see no mayors refusing to close their cities down. They just crippled everybody, put all the little guys out of business. So everybody, they're all cowards. Every leader There's no leaders that aren't. Trump seems to be the only one that's saying anything. He's probably the only one that ain't a coward. They're all cowards. And like, you got a couple of guys, you know, one or two. DeSantis says some shit sometimes, but none of them are speaking up. Nobody's arresting nobody. Nobody's going to jail. What is this shit? All these senators and congressmen could all be gangsters, making tons of money, stealing our money, and making hell on earth in America, and they're getting away with this shit? And not one military general is saying, hey, this is fucking bullshit. They're the cowards. See, the demons, the Democrats, and the Republican rhinos, which is most of them, are all demonized or corrupted or some shit. They're leveraged somehow, man. Sleeping with, you know, children. They're all assholes, okay? 95% of them. They're all playing a game on TV for us. You know, they're all yelling at each other. The Republican guys, they're on there. Ted Cruz is fucking up there, acting like a lawyer, going after the guy in the FBI, the guy in Homeland Security, but nothing's happening. Okay? Ted fucking Cruz's wife had as soon as he became senator, his wife got a sweet bank deal with a bank for like fucking crazy money. She, you know, so they're all in on something. So nobody's going arresting these guys. If you ever seen this movie, Cromwell, there's a movie called Cromwell with Richard Harris. So the whole parliament in England is so corrupt. Okay, now he was the general of the army. He fought the king of England, who was trying to, because they were Protestants in England, heavy duty, and he was trying to bring Catholicism there, right? And then they were persecuting them and all this shit. So it ended up, they got rid of the king, basically. And Parliament was running the country, and Cromwell was sitting back. He was in charge of the army. They got so corrupt that he walked into the fucking Parliament in England with the soldiers, surrounded them all, and threw them all out. Threw them all out of Parliament, fired all of them. I think they even arrested a lot of them. Why ain't nothing like that happening here? You're telling me you're a general in the United States, whether it be Marines, and you don't see what's going on, and you're telling me the other generals, they ain't all talking to each other, going, yeah, what the fuck is going on? This guy sold us out to China. These people are selling out the whole country. They're destroying us. None of them are saying anything. You know why? Topic of my show. Our leaders are cowards. If you're a fucking general in the military, I'm telling you you're a coward, because there's no way you can tell me that a bunch of generals can't get together and overthrow this coup that's going on in this country. No way. Of course they could do it. And there's no way, look, some of them are corrupted and possessed and demonized. That's the top brass. They got the top guys, maybe the top 10, 20 guys in the military to obey. After that, the rest of them, they didn't get every general. Bullshit. No way. So what are they? Every single one of them worried about their pension? So you get your pension, and your fucking granddaughter, who's growing up in this country, you stupid general, is going to grow up in a slave state like China? I mean, are you kidding me or what? So here we go. Oh, well, let's see this first. I heard COVID. Yeah, no, that's what they say. I think they're going to push it a little bit, tell you put mask on, nothing crazy. They're going to do the climate change. That's their more, that's going to be their bread. They're going to shut shit down. They're going to shut power off. Say, we got to save the climate. The people are dying from the climate. They had a big meeting for the climate change. They all flew there in their fucking private jets, and they were all frozen on the runway. I think in Brussels or some shit. Yeah, some climate change, warming. We got global warming, my ass. So Trump signed the deal with China, not Biden, all corporate. Military coup is insane. Trump is a crook, has been a long time. Yeah, well, the military is supposed to take these crooked people out. They're supposed to protect our country, but they're not doing it. You know? And, yep. And climate change has been proved to be false. Of course, that's wrong. They had 1,500 super duper credible scientists, like we're talking like top-notch scientists, all signed a piece of paper that said the climate thing is bullshit. Okay? And you don't hear about it. Because you got to understand, there's still these demons, because I'm telling you, these people, there's a lot of them are demons. Now, are they the demon itself or they're possessed by the demon? I don't know. But they're evil, okay? Evil exists. Understand this. You are living. If you look at the Bible, it's like a script for them. I mean, we're living it right now. In a one way, this is probably the most glorious time to be alive because it's wild. But it's going to be a brawl. And if we are going to have militias in America. There's no other chance to save ourselves. We need to take over our own government. We need to fucking activate our militias and our, every small town's got to get their own little militia. And 1776 all over again. This is the fight of the fight. We got to do this. Now, are we going to do it? Eventually, it's happening now, okay? There's like 450 towns that have done it already. It's not really a lot yet. We need everybody, okay? We need a lot more. We need 10% of the population at least. I mean, if we're going to fight the fight, we got to fight it. And they'll back out. They'll back down. And they won't really do too much if we leave them alone. If we start going after them, then they're going to start doing more shit. Because you got to understand, these rich people, they're the biggest cowards. These oligarchs can they hide, man. So we got to figure out how we're going to do this. But it's going to come to the point where we're going to have no choice because they're coming after all of us. They want to depopulate us. They want to destroy us. They want us miserable. For the last 3-4 years, nobody wakes up and is happy anymore. Everybody's like, unless you're really not watching any news or anything and just going, fuck everything, I'm just going to live my life. Well, that's great. You'll be happy. But what about your kids and your grandkids? And if you don't have any, then good. Go live your bullshit life and die. But I got grandkids, and I don't want to leave my grandkids in this bullshit. And it seems like they're going to be stuck in this bullshit unless we start waking the fuck up. And I don't know what our military's waiting for. Are they waiting for them to start killing us all? And then maybe they're going to say something? Oh, well, Al Gore's 80 years old. Al Gore. Yeah, and then you got John Kerry, who's like 80, and he's saying all kinds of shit on TV. I'm getting militant. This is ridiculous. People aren't listening. The climate is changing. Your ass is changing. Maybe the demons want to change the climate because they can't come up out of the ground because of our climate. They need like no CO2 in the air. Oh, well, it's the truth. There's no in between. If you're a fucking general in the military, you're a coward because there's not one general saying anything. Not one. You can't tell me there's not a group of them that are friends and they've sat in a room with nobody listening and they've talked about this shit and go, yeah, look what's going on. Listen, this shit's been planned for a long time. And once Bush and then Obama got in there, it went on high speed. They had an admiral, and you could go look this up on YouTube or it's there. And they asked this admiral, this is during the Obama time, what is the biggest threat to America right now? I think Obama was running for president at the time. All right, so they asked the admiral, 4-star, the highest there is. What is the biggest threat to America? He said, Obama. Because Obama's really like, Bush started it, and Obama poured it on. He signed all the different laws because there's a time frame. They got a time frame, 2030. I think they want to get it all in place by then for some reason. Maybe they have books, religious books that say, basically give them a better time frame of when Jesus is coming. You know, when the Savior, the real Savior is coming, or when the Almighty God is coming. Because the rest of everybody's a coward. They were all cowards. If I was a general and I have 4 or 5 friends that were a general, I get another 4. We get, and before you know it, you get 200-300 generals, and you just overthrow them other generals. They gotta go. They're traitors. It's like everyone is in a trance. Yeah. Everyone is in a trance. I bang my head in the wall. I can't believe that all these generals are letting this shit fly. If you had like General Patton was alive right now, forget it. He'd be losing his mind. Patton wanted to go into Russia right after Europe, he said, or China. I think it was China. He says, we got to get rid of all the communists now. But they didn't want to let him do it. I think he wanted to go into China. He wanted to get rid of communism. Because that's who's right there. Listen, these people haven't stopped. Okay? We think they stopped. They haven't stopped. They're trying to push all this Marxist communist shit on us. And they're declaring it socialism. Bullshit. Whatever it is, we are being taken over by a smaller 435 people are controlling our whole country, passing law after law that we don't agree to. Why the fuck are they passing laws that we don't agree to? Why are they sending hundreds of billions of dollars to other countries that we didn't agree to? Because they can? Don't they give a shit about us? No, they don't care anymore if we vote for them because they rigged that too. See, they know they're getting it anyway. They're like, it don't matter. We're going to do what we want up here. And we're going to lie and make believe we won the election anyway. Like they did it in Georgia. Herschel Walker probably won that election over down there. Nobody's voting for these demons. Nobody. 10% of the country. The other 90% are voting to get rid of these demons. Right now, Trump's got 90% of the country ready to vote for him. And they're trying to tell you it's close. You know, Biden's losing by like 6-8 points. And we need a different guy to run as a Democrat. Like they want to try to groom Newsom in there. Or maybe Michelle Obama they're going to throw in. And then they're going to go, oh, see, it was close, but now we're winning. Now, bullshit. Nobody's voting for you people. They're making you look like assholes. But if you even believe that it's close, you're an asshole. 80-90% of this country is voting for Trump because they know what they're going to get. Nobody wants a Democrat because they're not even Democrats anymore. When I was a young man, Democrats were a little different. I was like I leaned both ways. I was a little Democrat, a little bit Republican, even though I voted more or less more Republican. I voted for like Reagan. But I thought Clinton, even though he's, you'll find out he's super evil, I thought he did an okay job as the president. Wasn't that bad. But these demons now, they have to do it. There's a time frame. Where is the righteous anger? Yeah, where is it? So we got 200,000 federal employees between the CIA, FBI, and Department of Justice. 200,000. And there's 1 or 2 whistleblowers out of them 200,000. The rest are all cowards. They're all scared. They want to keep their pension in their job. Why ain't there 10, 20,000 of them rebelling? Why isn't any high brass in any of those organizations rebelling? Why aren't our attorney generals, 50 of them throughout the country, rebelling? Why aren't any governors rebelling? Nobody's rebelling. Everybody's letting this happen. It's like they're stabbing us with, 500 cuts. That's what they're doing. They're cutting us all over. We're dying slowly, but we're dying and it's getting faster. They used to cut us once or twice here and there, leave us alone. Now they're cutting us and they ain't stopping. They just keep cutting us. Well, Frenchmen, like I said, I wish it was only about the money because it was always about the money. There were always greedy people. But when you're doing demonic shit and you're putting out magic potions and you're authorizing this stuff and you're killing millions of people. This is like a demonic, satanic ritual, what they're doing. Even I was watching a show, they said most big events like 9/11 and all that, they all happen on satanic holidays. Like they have to pay their due to the devil, who's basically in charge of this planet for some reason. I don't know what the deal is, but he's running shit right now. I wish that the greed was just the problem, because they have enough money. You got 2, 3, like Pelosi. She had 300 million and she still was doing shit. So, there's only so much money you can spend no matter what. I mean, I remember Paul O'Neill. He played for the New York Yankees. He was the right fielder. And they asked him, how come you didn't leave the Yankees and get more money with another team? He says, so I get $7 million a year instead of $10 million. He goes, I can't spend it anyway. He says, what's the difference? What could you do? What can I do with my 7 that the guy with 10 could do? Nothing. It's the same bullshit. So, yeah, they got hundreds of millions and they're still doing demonic shit. They're still doing stuff. They really are coming after us, heavy duty now. But we shouldn't have 435 people controlling our whole country. It shouldn't be. It should be thousands of people that are involved in controlling our country, not just 435 assholes up in Washington. Because they're all assholes. I don't know if there's maybe 5 that you count on one hand that are pretty good, and the rest of them are all assholes. They're all acting out the script. Listen, this guy Ron Paul, for instance, he seems like a great guy, right? He's going after Fauci. He's been going after Fauci for 2 years, but nothing's happening. Nobody is getting arrested. They're not even, years ago, the evil people used to throw us somebody just to keep us happy, like give us somebody and let us put them in jail and see them suffer, and we'd be, we got them. They're not doing that anymore. They're like, no, fuck you. We're in charge of everything. And there ain't a thing you could do about it, because we control the whole thing. We control the military, we control FBI, we control the CIA, we control the Department of Justice, and we control the government. So how are you going to stop that machine? And the reason why we're in this shit is because they broke the law illegally back in, I forgot what year it was, where it was supposed to be one representative for every 50,000 people. It was supposed to be 30,000, but it ended up increasing to 50. And then all of a sudden, I forgot what year it was, they got rid of all of that. And it was just, okay, 2 senators for every state and this amount of congressmen. Now, how is that fair? You got, say, 10 million people in New York State, and they get 2 senators. And then you got another state, Wisconsin or whatever, with a couple million people, and they got 2 senators. How's that fair? Because all them people aren't getting represented in New York. Then they did it with delegate bullshit. No. One congressman for every 50,000. If you want to really push it, go every 100,000. If you did that, you would have 3,000-4,000 congressmen. They couldn't corrupt all of that. It'd be much harder for them. In reality, it should be 30. I think it would be, if you figured the number 1 in 50, that'd be 20 for every million. So 20 times 330 million, which 20 times 330, what do you got? You got 6,600 congressmen. Sounds crazy, right? But that's not a lot. If you have 6,000-7,000 people running the country instead of 400 people, that's a lot better. It's a lot harder to corrupt 6,000, all spread out throughout the country. Bill Gates, it's obvious. He's a eugenicist. His father was a eugenicist. He's a eugenicist. Bill Gates is in his own world. He thinks he's doing the planet a favor by getting rid of us. Now, is he murdering us? I don't know. He's claiming, no, well, I'm just trying to cut birth control and all this down. So he just wants to do it that way, I guess. But I think no. I think they're poisoning our food, too. I'm watching a lot of shows, and a lot of shows are claiming they are poisoning the shit out of our food. That's why so many people have been getting sick. Cancer is on the rise, big time. So they say China owns the U.S. Well, I don't think they own it yet, but they're getting there. I mean, they own a piece of it. They own a lot more than they ever owned. Hold on. It's got to blow my nose. Yeah, so I think China definitely owns a lot more than they used to own. But, we could take the country back and take everything that China thinks they own back and tell them, go get out. Because in reality, China, nobody wants to fight us. Listen, we got that. They sit here and tell you Russia's got all these missiles and all this shit. We've got laser weapons that we haven't used yet. I think they tested it on Hawaii for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, they melted all those buildings and houses because they want that land. It's a land grab. We got laser weapons. I was watching this show. They got a laser that goes on a ship. And it pulsates lasers. And it can just take out like 50 planes coming in a few seconds. Like it just goes, and it just shoots these fucking lasers. Takes everything out. It can take out a missile, anything. And it's super accurate. And it don't matter how fast the missile is. Because what they do is they put the laser beam up there and the missile's got to pass it. It's got to pass through the laser beam. So if they put it ahead of the missile's flight, they can't miss it. So we've got shit that nobody has. I think we made a deal with the aliens in Antarctica with fallen demons because the Nazis ended up in America anyway, the scientists. And we got shit that I don't think nobody got. And that's why they don't really mess with us yet. Because in reality, if they could mess with us, they would have did it already. But what is the plan? See, I don't know if it's China wants to take it. So I don't think that's the problem. I think they just don't want Americans to have the freedom they have anymore. They want to make us more like Europeans. Because you go to England, they're not as free as us. In England, if you say shit like I'm saying right now on YouTube, they come arrest you. They come back, break your door down and arrest you. This is what they do. And it'll get to that point here. It'll get to the point where I just won't do YouTube no more. I'm going to make a show to tell 20 people what's going on and get arrested. Fuck it. I might as well just join the militia and go to war. I mean, at that point. Because we're going to have to protect ourselves from these demons. And a militia is a legal thing. It's in our Constitution. It's in our, I think, Bill of Rights. It's everywhere. Not like you're doing something illegal. You're not revolting against your government. It's not a rebellion against your government. It's a rebellion against people that are trying to take our country over. All right, they're the traitors, not us. What do you think happened when 1776 when England? They had militias, had to fight back. It'll never probably get to the point of fighting and blood because it looks like they could destroy us without a piece of blood spilt because people are just sheep. And nobody wants to do it. Everybody's too busy with their life. They don't got enough time. And 24 hours isn't enough time for people anymore in a day. You need more. All the shit you got to do every day. It's crazy. Demons are the ones masquerading as aliens. Yes, at Ferran. 100%. That's another thing. That's their last card. I always told everybody they're going to come back. If everything fails, they're going to do a fake alien invasion. They got this fucking blue beam projection holograms of big motherships like in Independence Day. They'll have up in the sky. And they'll actually have a couple of real ships that they made. And they'll start laser beaming shit and blowing shit up. So they'll make you really think like, whoa, this is no joke. These are real aliens. And then you're going to see a ship land. And you're going to see these aliens who probably look like them grays like they've been talking about, come out of the ship, and they're gonna be real, but they're the fucking demons that were the fallen angels that have been stuck on this planet. Well, how is it over there in India, Asfaran? Are you guys able to say what you want, or they come arrest you? Well, if anybody don't know, Asfaran lives in India. So, do they come and arrest you if you say stuff on the internet in India, or you're free? Of course, in England, they come arrest you. England's scary, man. Who want to live in a country that if you say something that they don't like? One guy said something about King Charles there, the bloodline hierarchy demon that he is. He's probably a real demon. They could probably change their body for him, you know. And the guy said something about him. They came and arrested him. It's crazy what goes on in England. Crazy. So as for Ron, is it free in India? Are you there? Oh, I guess he's not. But yeah, so I made the show just to get it all, get it out there and let people know. I mean, look, all our leaders, all of them, they're all cowards. Show me, beside Trump, let's take Trump out of the equation. Beside Trump, who is doing anything? Oh, there he is. What's up? How you been doing? Been doing good? Did you make your new map yet? Let this shit burn down, right, Tom? Ask Alex Jones about free speech. Well, that's true. I mean, but they go after everybody. But in England, they just come arrest the little people. One guy was on the news. He was filming, like in a town in England, and they had all these Palestinian flags. And he was pissed off because he's from England. He's probably an old timer. And he goes, look at this bullshit. He goes, where's our flag? It's only Palestinian flags. He goes, well, where's our flag? And he's walking around going, look, see, look. Everywhere you look, Palestinian flags, no British flags. Look at this bullshit. They came and arrested that guy for a hate crime in England. So that's for on. I was asking, being that you're in India, how is it over in India? Are you free to speak your mind, or you're going to be sitting in your house and all of a sudden somebody's going to knock your door down and arrest you because, you said the Prime Minister of India is corrupted? Well, they're going to shut the internet down, Tommy. I mean, we know this. That's another thing in their plan. I mean, I don't know if they're going to do it. I don't know why they're going to do it, but they got a reason to shut the internet down for a while. 10 days of darkness. That's what it's supposed to be. I think they want to reset it or something where they can monitor it better. They need to put more things into place. I think you're going to have to sign on to the internet and identify yourself every time you get on it. It's going to be crazy. I hope it won't be like England. But they're trying to make us like a European country because, them people aren't free. They don't got guns in their houses in England. There's no guns. Crazy Frenchman, USA. I knew when you wrote USE, it was USA. Don't worry. I make typo errors all the time. I mean, there's some shit going on in England right now. They're passing all these crazy laws. But look at what the governor in New York did. She just passed some crazy law. She snuck it in. Like they appealed it like a year ago, and the judge threw it out. And now she snuck it in, and it's basically like they can charge you with crimes through things on the internet, like things you say, if they feel that they're hate speech. So you're not allowed to hate anybody anymore. Because, see, they want hate speech crimes because they're people that are running the show are like demons, and people hate them, and these people are such cowards that are controlled. They don't want to even have their feelings hurt. Like, oh, he called me a demon. You are a fucking demon. Yeah. So where Tommy goes? So Tommy, what's going on, man? What's going on, Pinoy? How's your channel doing? Channel doing good? So as for Ron, did you ever get your own channel going? Because Asferon's real funny. I don't know if you guys ever seen him. If anybody wants to come on, let me see. How do I? Let me see if we get a guest on here tonight. I think that's the link, right? Was that the link? I think so. Is that the link? I'm not sure. Let me see. I don't know if that's the link. I haven't done this in so while. I forgot how to do all the StreamYard shit. Or is the link in YouTube? Do I got to go to YouTube to get the link? See if anybody wants to come on. Anybody got anything they want to talk about? I don't know if that's the right link. Is that the right link, or is this the link? I don't know which one is right, but I put them both. Either way, I put it both. Oh. All right, look at that. What's going on, Tom? Can you hear me? Can't hear you at all. I don't know if you're there. Oh, it's StreamYard link? Okay, MacGyver, thanks. I put the StreamYard link in there. Are you there, Tommy? I can't hear you. So it's that link. I did put up the right link. And we'll do it one more time. Make sure I did it right. Yeah, I can't hear you, Tom. Anyway, maybe he's not. Can't hear a word if he's not talking yet. So, anybody else want to come on? Just join it. But anyway, so they're all cowards, man. Everybody every government guy, everybody, bunch of cowards. We're just living in a world of cowards. There is nobody fighting the fight. You know, Trump probably the only one who even gave it a shot. He ain't backing down. He don't back down. That's one good thing about him. He never gives in. He don't care. You know, don't work. I don't know what's up. I don't know. Maybe it's on your end. I don't know if it's on my end. So how you been, MacGyver? Haven't seen you in a while. Well, I mean, I haven't been on in a while, but I mean, like, how you been? I haven't. Yep. Anybody got any questions or topics you want to talk about? But I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I can't complain, you know. I live in Missouri now. I just got this apartment. I was telling people last week I got to go get furniture. I'm just so lazy to go to the store and do all this shit. I've been doing a little at a time, but I mean, I got a bedroom and everything, and I got my whole computer thing set up. I need a couch, a big TV, and maybe a little kitchen set. That's all I need. I don't want to go too crazy. You know, I don't need that much furniture. I just need a nice big couch I can lay on and watch TV, get like a 65-inch TV, and get a little kitchen set, even though I don't eat at the kitchen. You know, people come over. As for Ron, there he is. My man. How's it going?
Fine.
Oh, all right. I can hear you. Good. How's your mom? She been yelling at you still?
Yeah.
As for Ron's mom is the best. She comes in. You better get off that computer. Now we're eating. Because in India, it's all about family, right?
Yeah. Hey,
you asked about how families.
You asked how things are in India regarding freedom of speech. Actually, over here, the politician has a lot of henchmen, like rowdies under him. So if you say anything too bad, also they'll come and beat you up.
Could you imagine? I would have been beat up already.
Yeah, you would. There's a limit to the freedom of speech here also.
So there's a limit. You get a beating sometimes. They're like real gangsters. They come to your house and kick your ass and tell you shut up.
Yeah. Or else they'll ransack your office or where you work. So there's a limit to the freedom of speech. It's just a namesake only, as like the way it is in the US, like where things are only for namesake. Actually, it's not so strongly reinforced. It's not so good over here too.
Well, I think even here, not me. I'm a small little nothing, so they're never worried about me. But if you got a big show, Alex Jones happens to be the exception. Other than him, you don't see these TV hosts, not even Joe Rogan. You don't see him getting out there calling out people by their names. Because when you call their names out, that's when people get killed. You start talking about Hillary Clinton, they're going to whack you. Because she's got people that whack people, so Alex Jones, for some reason, they haven't killed him yet. He says they're trying to kill him all the time, but, I don't know. Because he says it out.
Alex Jones, William Cooper was original. Alex Jones, he exaggerates too much. He said once in 1999 that Russia is going to launch nuclear warheads on the US. He exaggerated it so badly. And then what happened was that people who listened to him, they packed up and they ran off to the countryside. It was horrible. William Cooper called him out on that. So Alex Jones exaggerates a lot as well.
Yes,
William Cooper was the original guy. Yeah.
He definitely exaggerates a lot of stuff. And then whenever he's right on something, he makes sure that you know about it. But think about this with Alex Jones. In 2001, how would he know this shit? Is he a chill? I'm a little spooked. I don't think he is, though. But he does a lot of reading and stuff. In 2001, he said that they're going to hit the Twin Towers with planes. He said this in 2001, way before 9/11. He said they're going to hit the Twin Towers with planes, and they're going to blame Obama there, whatever that guy's name. I forgot his name. That was the terrorist at that time. Was it Obama or something? Osama bin Laden. And he called the name out and everything, and he was on point. How would he? And I think Tucker Carlson interviewed him, goes, how the hell did you know that? And he says, well, I was reading and just watching all different news channels. It's just, you put it all together, and you can you put the picture together, and he put that picture together. It's crazy.
But before this happened...
let me answer MacGyver. I live about 2.5 hours from my son. I live in Branson, Missouri. What was you saying, Asram?
Yeah, in the 90s, before even the 2000s, in the 90s, there was a movie called Mario Brothers. They showed the Twin Towers getting destroyed in that movie.
Uh-huh.
Before it was a movie shot in the 90s, way before this took place in 2001, somewhere in 92, 93. Mario Brothers was released. They showed the Twin Towers getting destroyed in that movie.
Well, The Simpsons, think about, like, you ever watch The Simpsons? They almost show you everything that's going to happen way before it happens.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the creator of The Simpsons is involved with the satanic cult there, and he would get all the information, and they would put it out on purpose to desensitize us a little bit, so we would get used to all this shit. 'Cause that's what they're doing right now. They're putting so much evil shit out there that you're getting used to it. We're getting used to evil. You know,
Yeah.
and it's like not a big deal
Yeah.
anymore. Like, people don't even care. Like, 100 people get killed, let's say, in Palestine or in Israel, and no, in Ukraine, thousands of people are getting killed. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying, why aren't they stopping the war? Everybody's picking a side, saying, no, we got to go to war. Even regular people. Like, people are saying, no, Israel's got to go blow up Palestine. And the Palestinians are going, well, you've been oppressing us. We got to. What about peace? Why is there no peacemakers? All the politicians are picking sides. They want war. It's like a religious cult.
Yeah.
They want murder. They want death. It's like they're paying homage to their god, the demons, you know? People don't believe
But
in
the
demons.
thing
So I'm like,
is,
what are you kidding me?
yeah. If you talk about demons or the supernatural, then you're a Looney Tune.
Yeah, that's what they think.
Yeah.
Well,
You're nuts if you
follow
talk
religion. They talk about demons in the Bible all the time. I don't know about your book.
Yeah. Yeah,
Your
they are
religion,
demons exist.
Of course
Yeah,
they
they
exist.
do, but the thing about demons is that they actually aren't scary to look at. Many times they'll come off as a handsome man or something like that, or a beautiful woman, and then they'll tempt you. They use beauty a lot to waylead human beings. They don't come in their original form.
No, like Kim Kardashian. She's probably a demon.
Yeah.
She corrupted all of them.
Yeah.
Well, they say the Kardashian family, they're witches. They're actually witches.
Yeah.
All of them. They're all witches.
Yeah.
I believe it. They put spells on people. She's
Yeah.
worth like $400 million. How do you get worth $400 million from a porno tape she made with that rapper there?
Yeah.
She made the porno tape, and then all of a sudden she blew up, and then she got a big, giant silicone ass. And now all of a sudden, you know, she's plastic surgery galore with fake ass. They sucked all the fat out of her stomach. Oh, we got MacGyver coming on. Surgery galore. Oh, there he is. How you been,
what's up?
man? Haven't
turn
seen
this
you
shit
in a
off.
long time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, how you been doing?
Oh, I finally won my fucking settlement.
Great.
So it took 2 years to fight these bastards.
Did you get a decent amount of money?
No, I got to get my neck operated on. Then I'll settle. But
okay.
it took me 2 years to get the okay for my operation.
Oh, all right. I thought you
The damn
already
Chicago lawyers. They're all corrupt.
Of course, they make deals with the insurance companies.
Well, they fight every case and hoping I would, geez, I'm going to lose my house and stuff. But thank God I had some money. But yeah, that's what they're doing to a lot of people. So people give up and go back to work and do what they got to do.
I didn't know you hurt your neck, though.
I heard it about 2 years ago at work.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's like the religion, right? You join your religion and everything, and you create a sin. What do? You can go back to the church and give your, I sinned. Here, give me a couple Hail Marys and stuff, and you're forgiven. But with this satanic cult, once they touch you on the shoulder and you join them, guys, the only way of leaving them is death.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're sticking in water. So once they tell you to do something, you better do it, as we're going to kill you, your family, whatever. And so that's what's going on with these people, these hierarchies. Remember the guy from Friends that died?
Yeah. The
okay.
guy that just died.
Before he died, there was a picture of a couch with the water fountain in front, like the Friends episode. and it said above them demons. Now, when the French
Yeah.
characters were on there, they were all sitting on the couch, and right above them in big letters was friends, and between each letter was a period. Well, when it was demons, there was no period between the D and the E, but there was period between the rest of the letters. Why wasn't there a period there? They were telling us something. You know, these people work in secret codes.
Everything is codes.
That they all know about.
It's all symbols.
Right.
And he probably, a lot of these famous people, they make the deal to be famous. They make the deal with the demons. And then near the end, they start to not want to do it anymore. Because
you're drowning in a bathtub.
Huh?
You're drowning in a bathtub or a hot tub.
Yeah, but what happens is their human side kicks in, their empathy, right?
Yes.
And now they're not happy with themselves because of what they're doing. And they know it's bad. Because everybody knows, man. Everybody knows when you lie.
Hotel California.
99% of people cannot pass lie detector test unless they're trained to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
So what? Even if you're evil, you can't lie because you know deep down it's bad. So that's why I think a lot of these movie stars, you hear they die because they want to back out and they want to get out. And then you, like you said, you die in the bathtub, like Whitney Houston.
Yep.
Why do they die?
Gary.
Yeah.
Why do
you die in the bathtub?
The guy from France died in a hot tub.
Deaths, actually.
Yeah. How do you
All
die
mysterious
in a
deaths. Yeah, correct.
Well,
hot tubs have a safety thing. Do you know hot tubs shut off, right? Automatically.
You guys need to stay away from your bathtubs, please.
No, but a hot tub has, when you turn on your hot tub, after like a couple of hours, it shuts off. You got to return it on again. All hot tubs have that safety feature. So how did he die in his hot tub?
Someone would have come and drowned them, actually.
That's right.
Well, he did shine a bat sign up in the sky. Did you hear about that?
No, what did he sign?
He signed a bat signal up in the sky. That means warning, a duress.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just look into it more. You'll see it.
They know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember. I think he went back, but Jim Carrey, they claim, is the high priest of the satanic cult in California. He's the high priest. And he was backing out. He didn't want no part of it anymore. And he came on like Jimmy Fallon show or something, and he said, everything that you think is the truth is a lie. Everything's a lie. Nothing's real.
Yeah, but these are just court gestures to keep us sidetracked.
Yeah, but he never mentioned names. See, I think once you start mentioning names, that's when you get whacked.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you don't mention names, they'll just make you out. They'll make you like you're a crazy person, and they'll let you live for a while. But when you start dropping names or threatening that you're going to use names, that's when I think, like, even like the guy from Mork and Mindy, Marvin Williams, whatever. What was his name?
Yeah, Marvin Williams.
He died. They're all dying of the same shit. Like, they're all OD, and maybe some of them are dying from drugs because they get so fucked up for what they do.
Well, he was depressed and he hung himself.
Yeah, they hang themselves too.
Yeah.
I got $300 million. I'm depressed. Let me hang myself. Come on. That guy was a comedian. He made everybody laugh. If you were making everybody laugh, you'd be happy. Like, why would you be depressed? I mean, there are exceptions, but I would say 90% of the times you hear these people die, they were murdered.
Yeah.
There's no way.
But most of them have been murdered, actually, I feel. Like, even when they hang themselves, someone comes and hangs them and makes it look like they've committed suicide.
Yeah.
I agree.
It doesn't... because in my country also, there was this guy called Sushant Singh Rajput. They made it look like he was depressed with life and he hanged himself, but they actually murdered him. They fractured his foot. The autopsy revealed that his foot was fractured, and then they forcibly hanged him. So there's this guy, actually, he can communicate with spirits. So he's from the US only, I think. He communicated with the spirit of this actor who had died. And that guy told him, like, the 3-4 people came, barged in, held my hand. They beat me up, and then they forcibly hanged me, and they made it look like a suicide. I forgot the name of that person from the US who can talk to spirits. He's there. He can communicate with spirits. So if he's there, actually, like he can, most of these murders will be, most of these deaths will be unveiled as murders, actually.
I mean, you know how many famous people supposedly killed themselves? Come on. I mean, even go back.
Right.
Marilyn Monroe killed herself. Bruce Lee. I mean, come on now.
Copy
Stop.
that link,
Elvis.
Pops. Copy that link
Bruce Lee
and
was
watch it later.
murdered. Bruce Lee was murdered, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a senator saying all the shit that we're saying right now, and there's a 20-year was it a FBI agent? He's
That
been
link
off the
right
force
there,
for,
right?
Yeah, he's been off the force for 20 years. He went up to the senators like, I like what you're saying, but you got to keep your eyes open. You know, he's
Right.
like, wait, no, you just keep your eyes open because I've seen this happen before where other senators get whacked.
Yeah, I think, you know, once they start naming names, they
Yeah.
go up to them and they say, look, you're going to
And he's
step
naming
down.
names. He's naming names.
Yeah, once you start naming names, that's when they whack you. One guy worked for like the CIA, and he says the only reason why they haven't killed me yet, and he talks about a lot of shit that's going on. He says, because I haven't named anybody. He says, you could talk about it up to a point, and they'll let you get away with it. But when you start naming people, they kill you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because they're still hiding. You know, even though they're out in the open almost now, telling you we're demons, and we took over your country, and, you know, this is the way it is. Whoever ain't a demon's been leveraged anyway, so it's the same
let's
shit.
go back to what A&S was talking about, spirits and demons.
Right.
Okay, these people that go to Hollywood and they're made and they're frontliners singing songs. I mean, their songs suck, but yet they're way up there in the charts, like Beyonce, for instance.
Yeah.
Right.
Beyonce, she even did an interview saying that she interchannels a spirit to go through her, and these spirits are from the spirits of 1969. Just like the Hotel California song. We haven't seen that spear here since 1969. Well, that's what they do. They channel these spirits. Now look up 1969 spirits, and you'll see the whole thing. There's a cult about it.
1969 spirit.
1969.
I got to do a show on some of the stuff you're talking about. Yeah.
No, but the mainstream musicians, the musicians in the mainstream, their songs are horrible, actually.
They're terrible now.
I think
Yeah.
a lot of them don't sell as many records as they say. I think they get the music company or whoever, they buy, they lie. They say, yeah, they sold 10 million albums because they pay off the musician to do like satanic stuff, right? Sing.
Yeah.
And they buy, you know, they put a couple of $1 million in an escrow account and just say, yeah, he sold this many records. And he really didn't. Like, did you ever see that rapper that was dry humping the devil? He's like gay. I forgot his name.
Yeah, I can't remember, but yeah.
This guy, nobody's buying his music. Very little. All right, listen, there's a few people that buy it.
So in other words, we're the United States of corporations. That's what we are.
So the corporations or whatever, they're putting money and they're buying, they're making believe he sold all these records, but he really didn't sell them.
No.
Like even Jay-Z, he's worth, I don't know, 500 million. How is that possible? I mean, like, he's, you know.
He's a warlock.
His music isn't good. I mean, I never liked him.
He's a warlock.
You know who's
He's
calling
got people
a lot of them
underneath
out
him
now?
making money for him.
50 Cent has been calling a lot of them out lately.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it. 50 Cent said, what's wrong with you fucking people? I don't think they got to him. Because he just like, if you noticed, he made his money and stepped out.
Yeah.
I don't think they got to 50 Cent.
Well, how he's making his money is he's getting people into the music industry, and he gets a part of their share.
Yeah.
So he just sits back, helps with their tweaks their music, and puts it out there. It's like
he
Avon.
made
When you're the head
title
lady of
board.
Avon, you're making most of the money, but you got these ladies below you that are making like a pyramid scheme.
He made his money with Vital Water, though. He made like 100 million on just Vital Water when he signed a deal with them.
Right.
Because they wanted to pay him a certain amount of money to be like a spokesman for them. He said,
Right.
no, I want shares of the company.
Right.
And then when the company blew up, he sold his shares and he made like 100 million.
Of course.
But there are certain people that aren't into that cult. Like, I don't think Sylvester Stallone is in that cult. Sylvester Stallone, they didn't want him to be Rocky. I don't know if you know the story. And he wouldn't give him his script until they made him, he was Rocky in the movie.
Yep.
And I think
Contracts.
he became famous on his own because they couldn't stop it. You know, even Mel Gibson, there's certain actors that they become famous and, you know, Hollywood will just accept that they're not part of their cult because they're making a lot of money with them. But if you look at Sylvester Stallone, the reason why I brought him up, all his, you know, the Expendables.
Yep.
All the people that he takes in his expendable show, I don't think they're into Satan shit. Because they're all good, like that are usually in his show. And even 50 Cent was in the last one. So I think certain actors like Stallone, Gibson, a couple of them aren't involved. But I would say 90% of Hollywood is definitely satanic, evil people. And, you know, they play it off, some of them, think they can get away with it and think they can still go back to being like a Christian or whatever, but it don't work that way.
Yeah.
They
Christianity, the thing is actually like they made Christianity into some kind of easygoing religion where anything goes. That's the problem actually. Even and these evangelicals, instead of being a bit stern about certain things, even they're also easygoing. Like anything goes. Like you can walk in and walk out. It's like there's no strict hierarchy or rigid rules. Like you can't do that with religion. That doesn't work like that with God.
No.
And even Jesus, right? I think they kind of corrupted parts of the Bible where they said Jesus said turn the other cheek. But yet Jesus went into the temple because they were lending money and selling stuff in the church. And he flipped all their tables and went crazy.
Okay.
So you really think Jesus said turn the other cheek? I don't think the Almighty God wants us to just sit there and get slapped around. I don't believe that.
My outlook with Jesus is that he did turn the tables. He did take all the people out of the Jewish church, or excuse me, the churches over there back in the day. And all these Pharisees were losing money because all their patrons were listening to Jesus. And it's like, hey, we got to do something about that, Jesus. He's taking all our money from us.
They whacked him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't believe
made the
that,
Roman...
like Asfaron's saying, I don't believe that the Christian religion was meant to be soft. And they are soft. They're not, there's no fight inside. Like, it's everything is no, turn the other cheek, let them do it, God. I don't think that's I don't think that's really what's supposed to happen.
Correct.
You know, I think Christians are supposed to not take shit either. You know, like they said, oh, give Rome what is Rome is theirs. Like, give them. I think the Romans put that in the Bible. Pay Rome what is his. Like, pay your taxes. I mean, come on.
Right. What in Rome does what Rome does.
Yeah.
Well, remember you said about
Jesus
cowards.
Said, don't give them anything.
Yeah. You know, you said about cowards. You know, we're all cowards. Even we're cowards because we still shop at Walmart and Amazon. If we can stop everybody in the United States, whatever, from shopping at Walmart, Amazon, it's going to hurt them so bad.
And not only them, you got a lot more companies. Like, I find myself, Amazon is the hardest one. I'm going to explain it. Walmart, I went to a store today, and then I was going to go to Walmart, and I stopped myself. I didn't go.
Right.
Because I don't want to give them my money.
Yeah, I don't go to Walmart. Target,
I will never go to, period.
No.
They had satanic shirts for children.
Yeah, all the stores that stayed open during the COVID, that's pretty much their stores.
Yeah, I'll never buy Budweiser beer ever again.
Why can't we just say BlackRock and the Vanguard, they're into trannyism? I bet you a lot of people start backing out of them then, if we can get that on the show, on the media.
Well,
they support trannyism.
BlackRock, what is it? Sweet Street or something? There's 3 groups. They control, they're the masters of everybody else.
Well, BlackRock owns Vanguard, and Vanguard owns BlackRock, if you were to look at it. They own each other.
Another one, Street Sweet or something like that. I forgot the name. 9th Street.
There's a China one, but that's not the case. But
there's 3 corporations that control all the other corporations. They own most of them. Like, do you know BlackRock has the 3rd largest economy in the world?
Yeah.
Only the United States and China have a bigger GDP than BlackRock. How is that possible?
Right.
And what's the BlackRock? What is the BlackRock? You know the meaning of the BlackRock, right, Asfaron?
Yeah, they even I too don't know how they got such a big GDP. I feel this might sound crazy. secretly a lot of children go missing in the USA. They're using children for child sacrifice, and they're actually boosting up their wealth by using children for sacrifices. That's what I feel, because so many children go missing in the US and they're never found actually.
But
They
the
said
pedophilia,
85,000.
they're pushing the pedophilia is on the rise here, saying it's pedophilia people that are doing it, and we know it's not these guys are just doing it. We know it's the satanic cult that are doing this shit.
They're drinking their blood.
And they're saying,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you can watch your kid for this guy. You can't be a guy walking through a park with children because everybody will look at you because you're like a pedophile. I mean, they know how to mess with us.
Did you notice when Trump was president, he was going after a lot of these child trafficking rings, and a lot of the movie stars started looking old. Like Celine Dion looked like she was dying. Johnny Depp, because
Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah, they were all drinking that adrenochrome, and that adrenochrome keeps you younger looking.
Yeah.
And now they're all looking young again. Their pipeline
Correct.
opened up. That's what I really hated Trump more than anything, because they wouldn't get the junkies that are on.
You know, the kids missing from the border. Tons of them.
They said 85,000, but it's way more than that.
Yep.
It's way more. And where are they? Nobody talks about.
A little boy was talking about it. He came across the border with his sister, and they got on a bus. He got shipped to Chicago, and he didn't see his sister then anymore. Now, since it's getting cold, all these immigrants that are in Chicago, guess what? They're leaving Chicago because it's too damn cold for them.
There's people from Venezuela.
Yep.
That are going back to Venezuela, and Venezuela is bad. And they're saying, we had it better there than we have it here right now, because they're living in the street here. So everybody thinks they're letting all the immigrants in, but they're having a hard time, a lot of them. Some of them are getting they're getting housing and money, but not all of them.
Right.
No, it's crazy. Schwarzenegger was in one of the Expendable. Yeah, I think Schwarzenegger, he's evil for sure.
He was a governor.
His father was Schwarzenegger's father was a Nazi officer, right? He's actually from Austria and he's of German descent. So his father was a Nazi officer, right? Schwarzenegger's.
Look at George Bush.
Look at Soros.
Bush's father was supplying the Nazis with all kinds of stuff. They arrested him.
Yeah, look at Soros' lineage. Look at Ford. Henry Ford. He gave his tanks to the Hitler's war.
Yes, he did.
Correct.
Yeah. It's those Nazi Jews. Sorry to say that.
Yeah.
You have the word Nazi in there. Notice that?
Yeah, and the strange thing is, in Finland, I think, Finland, there were Jews who enlisted in the Nazi army and fought for the Nazis actually, and they were even given a medal by Hitler. That's the crazy part.
Well, there's a lot of stuff with Hitler that they hid from us.
Of course.
Yeah.
And they made him the boogeyman, but there was more than just Hitler. It was the boogeyman. Do you know that at one point Hitler sent 3 million people to Poland, 3 million Jews, and he couldn't feed them. He wanted Russia to feed them to weaken Russia's army. So by feeding them, Russia maybe couldn't invade because they didn't have enough food for their army.
Right.
And
they also went to Switzerland.
They let them all die. They didn't care.
Yeah, but a lot of them went to Switzerland or Sweden, where the seed bank is in the mountain, where their guards are guarding the Vatican out in front, the Swiss guards. I mean, come on. Isn't it obvious?
Right.
World War II was a cruel era.
Too much shit going on with all our history that they lied, the Victor wrote it, and they lied about a lot of the history.
Oh, yeah.
Even with Napoleon, they lied. You really believe there's stuff out there saying that they made Napoleon go into Russia.
Yeah.
If you're going to invade Russia and they're going to do scorched earth on you and burn everything so you have no supplies, why would you go in there? Because they wanted him to lose.
Yeah, but this Ukraine thing was a fluke. When you seen when you see Putin bring out his resurfaced old-fashioned tanks with house paint painted a square and a Z on it, You know he didn't do that. That was the Ukraine people saying it was him doing it and picking on us to get the whole
No, but
world up in a frenzy. So we can launder a lot of money over there to these politicians' pockets. I didn't see any weapons and all that stuff that we sent them, firing them, shooting the missiles, the jet planes. I didn't see any of that shit.
They're sending them all the old surplus shit, all the old missiles, the bombs that have been sitting in storage for. So I mean, they knew stuff that we
So they look like, we need to launder some more money in our pockets.
Oh, they're laundering. Our government is stealing so much money from us.
And inside trader betting too.
Well, look at Pelosi. How are you worth $300 million when you were just a congresswoman?
Because she was a yes man lady.
She made a lot of money with inside trading. Her husband did all the inside trading. She told him what to buy, and he bought it. That's how they were doing it.
Just like they did at 9/11.
They all do it. Not all, but a lot of them do it. They're all. Do you know that Nikki Haley? She's running for president, right?
Right.
So the guy, the Indian guy, I forgot his name. He goes.
That's the guy I'm talking about. That's the guy I'm talking about, right there. That India guy. Click that link right there, and he could go on. He's blasting all the people in it.
Yeah, he said the Nikki Haley. He goes, I don't understand. You had no money when you were a congresswoman. When you left, you were broke. Then all of a sudden, now you're worth $8 million. You went to work for the industrial complex, and 3 years later, you work like $8 million. Where'd that money come from? Mo, he held up a thing in the debate that said Haley equals corrupt. Did you see it? He's going after them.
I've seen it.
You ever see that guy ask for on? You would love that guy.
Yeah. He's good. Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yes. Yeah. I agree. I think he's trying to become Trump's vice president.
But he's got to watch. Don't name names. That's the guy I was talking about. This Fed came up to him and said, "Hey, dude, don't name names and shit. But we like what you're doing."
Yeah, because you name names. Even Trump, you notice he really all right. He went after Clinton a little bit, but he don't really name people.
Right.
Trump played along with a lot of shit too. I mean, I don't know if he had to. He had no choice, but
Trump's a part of it too. He's playing good cop.
Yeah, because how do you make
Barr
your attorney general? And you make the other guy, Pompeo, whatever, your secretary of state, they're so Masonic they're deep state. Okay? How do you make these people who should have been his attorney general? Would have probably put everybody in jail? Giuliani. That's why he didn't make him Giuliani wanted to be the attorney general. And Trump didn't give it to him. And that's why he got pissed off a little bit. And he stepped out for a while. Then he came back as his lawyer. But if he would have made Giuliani the attorney general, you would have seen a lot of people going to jail. He put gangsters in jail in New York. I mean, he had no fear whatsoever. But that's why Trump picked the wrong people, because I think, I'm hoping I'm wrong. I think he's kind of like good cop, bad cop, like I've been saying all along.
Yep. He's a Freemason from the Swedish Reich. Trump
he's the head Freemason. He's the Grand Poobah. He's the leader of the Freemasons, the Scottish order.
Yep.
They even showed one day they all wore purple pins on their lapels, and they disappeared after one day. Right. But they all wore them when he won or some shit. Trump is the one. Trump is the one wild card that freaks me out.
Yep.
Because let's put it this way. If I'm just going to say, if you were the Antichrist, let's just say, okay? So now listen to this plan. So you become the president, right? And you do great for everybody.
Right.
Then you step back and you let the evil all come in and turn the world upside down. Now you become president 4 years later again.
Yes.
The world.
Our savior. He's going to save us from all this tyranny of Biden.
Then you make peace throughout the world, because this is what the Antichrist
It's all written.
The deception. If you're the devil, you're
the great deception.
The devil's going to come as a deception. All right, deceptor. He's not coming as a bad guy. Now, in the Bible, it says the Antichrist will be loved. I'm not saying Trump is the Antichrist. I hope he ain't. But if you were going to pick one person that could be the Antichrist, it has to be Trump.
No, but because Trump actually is. He's related to Hillary Clinton. They're cousins.
He's
Yeah.
what?
You can look at his cousin's
He-
lineage.
Yeah, Trump and Hillary Clinton are cousins.
Yep.
And who are cousins?
Hillary.
I don't know. Maybe they are.
No, they are there. When they asked Hillary Clinton, Trump is your far cousin. What do you say about that? She just kept quiet. They're cousins. They have the same ancestor. They're related to a king in England, actually. What's his name? John Lachlan or someone like that. He, a Scottish king. Both of them are descendants of that same lineage. So Hillary Clinton and Trump are both cousins, actually. That's there in the thing.
Look, I
They're far
hope
cousins.
that I'm wrong about Trump, but I tell people all the time, if he becomes president again, because listen, if they don't want him to become president, they're going to cheat just like they showed you they could do it with Biden, right?
Yep.
So what's going to stop him from doing it again? The only way he gets in is because they let him get in. Now, if they let him get in, or maybe even better, how about this? How about if he's the Antichrist, they don't even know who he is. He's not going to even probably tell the Democrats who he is, but he controls all the levers. You understand? They don't know. And he becomes president again. Now he makes peace throughout the world because that's what the Antichrist is supposed to do. And he's loved by everybody, right? Because he saved the world, basically. If you save America, you save the world. Because the whole world's waiting to see what happens to America. And if America falls, the whole planet falls.
Yeah.
Okay? If America stops this New World Order bullshit, then the whole world is going to stop it. But the greatest skeptic could be him. I mean,
look how many presidents were Freemasons. George Washington was a Freemason. Jefferson, Ben Franklin. Look at the list.
Oh, yeah, but back in those days, though, they were good. They were all good Freemasons, and I think the Freemasons back in those days were like good. They were actually trying to help people.
Well, then they sold out and got corrupt later on.
Yeah, because I had a friend that they wanted me to become a Freemason back in the day.
Well, yeah, until you get to 33, then after that, you sell your soul.
Right, but he was like low-level Freemason, and he was doing all kinds of charities.
Yep, that's what they do.
I think there are good Freemasons and bad, like good chapters and bad chapters. I have to believe there has to be some good guys fighting these evil guys, but I don't think they're winning.
Right.
I think they're delaying them, they're slowing them down, but the people have to wake up. If the people don't wake up, we can't win. What's up, Jose? What's going on, man?
Hey, Pops. What's up, brother?
How you been?
Hey, man. I'm doing well, brother. Thank you for asking, man. I'm glad to see that you're back on YouTube, man. You know, I first caught you when you jumped on, MD show and stuff, and
yeah,
I was hearing you go back and forth and everything. You was cool people, so I figured, I'll come on and give you some support for the show.
I appreciate you.
You're
How's your life
brother.
going? I know you were in the Marines, right?
No. You got me confused with Jake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. It's all good, bro.
How are you? You sound like him too.
Nah, I think we sound differently. I think it's just, I guess you've been watching the show every now and then when you've had a chance or whatever.
I haven't been watching YouTube at all. Like for about a year, I kind of like just disappeared.
Okay.
I had a lot of stuff going on in my life, and everything I said a year ago, and MacGyver said too a year ago, it's all happening. Like I told people, what am I? And even Asperon said a lot of, what am I, a prophet? Like I told you, go look at my shows. It's amazing.
You're definitely a truth seeker. That's one thing that I, think is really cool and genuine about you. That's one of the reasons why I think you're doing your shows before have all been pretty interesting, and that one you did where it was like the title was "We All Must Become Lions."
Mm-hmm.
That was a good. I thought that was it was a great show or whatever. And then
well, look at like even the subject tonight, right? I still can't figure it out. But all our leaders are cowards. All of them. Like, we got a couple of thousand leaders between generals, police chiefs, mayors, governors, attorney generals. I mean, we got a couple of thousand people that are leaders that can make a difference if they just open their mouth and start doing something. And none of them are doing anything. Zero.
Well,
I don't even want to make that sign because don't think I'm doing the 3-6 sign. Yeah, I'll go 0. You do this shit, they start telling you worship the devil. You know that, right?
Yeah, that's
Trump
supposed
used to
mean.
do this shit all the time. Then he stopped doing it. If you notice, Trump don't do this no more. Trump used to go on stage and do this. This is 666.
Oh, wow.
And they caught on. People started catching on to it, going, yo, look at it. He's making the 666 sign. And he stopped doing it now. Now he does this. Or he tries not to do that.
Yeah, I was listening to you talk about the whole thing with like the president, like the situation with who's going to be like the head of America and all that stuff, and it's no matter who they put in there, it's somebody that something behind all of this shit has obviously selected in order to keep things. And like I heard what you were talking about, the part where okay, we got him in for 4 years, we didn't let him back in the second 4 years like right after, and then like the world was thrown into chaos with the whole thing from 2020. And so if they put him back, then they, but it's funny because I think that could literally be the plan word for word. But you see the thing that they're doing to him in the courts, where they're having him like, constantly tried by case and all that stuff. I think that's to try and break him from coming out of character again, because I think that he's, partially aware of some of the things that is supposed to be his role as an agent in a way, because like you talked about him being a Freemason or something, all that stuff is real, So the thing is that he probably likes to psychologically swing his shit around sometimes, and that shit is gonna get him like with the hand slapped, and like he's gonna get disciplined about that, which is what I think this whole thing with him being in the courts and shit like that is a ritual of discipline that they're putting on him. It's like, look, man, we could throw your ass into jail over a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I think that that's probably what they're doing with him now, to also maybe make it more so that they can also buy time in case they need to have somebody else be in the thing, because it all looks like this kind of like circus show. To see like which circus animal performs better and gets the crowd clapping the hardest. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever's behind this is picking someone that moves the needle, where once they have the majority of people support behind one of those people, then they have all they have to do is introduce an agenda through that person to manipulate anyone, such as they did with the jab with him. You notice that, right? You notice the whole thing with the jab and stuff.
Yeah.
Was heavily, he was like, yes, we're gonna get it done. Yes, we're gonna have it.
And he was even telling people, go get it. I got it. It's safe.
Exactly, yeah.
So see, now they want to bring in digital currency, right? Now, if Biden tried to bring it in, people are going to reject it. So this is what I think they're going to do. If Trump gets in, I think Trump's going to say, he's going to destroy the Federal Reserve. But if the Federal Reserve's going under, it's bankrupt. So he's going to say, I took out the Federal Reserve. Now we have our own money. And he's going to bring in a crypto, like a digital currency. And people are going to go with it. Because they're going to go, well, it's Trump. He's not, this isn't the mark of the beast. He's going to bring it in. See, I think Trump could bring it in. I don't think he could. Just like if we had to go to war. People aren't going to go to war for Biden. But if Trump becomes president, fixes the country, and then we got to go to war with China,
forget about it.
Line up to go to war.
Yeah, forget about it.
So
like make America great again is like one of the most like catchiest bullshit, little patriot slogans that's come out for America literally in like the last couple of years that I can remember of, that actually gets the as MD puts it, the patriot zombie to just get all riled up and put the gear on and get ready and shit.
The whole Midwest will go brawl for Trump. They love Trump down here. I live in Branson. They got, just in Branson, they got 3 Trump stores that sell just Trump shit, and they're all doing good.
And that's kind of, and it's sick, right? Like that's kind of sick when you think about it, the brainwashing, man. Like that stuff.
I hope I'm wrong about Trump, but I don't think I am. But I hope I am.
When you said wild card, I died because I was laughing because it was like the Trump thing is like the Trump card. So the wild card, the Trump card. You know what I mean? Like
I think he's part of the whole plan. They're all in on it. I don't think he got in because he got in. They let him get in, like you said, and maybe they're disciplining him now. Or maybe they're making this like a Rocky movie. Okay, you remember when Rocky was fighting and he was getting beat up by Apollo Creed, and then in Rocky 2 he came back and he won, and everybody was like, that's what they want to do with Trump. They want to bring it to where they're doing everything they can to him. They're going to put him in jail. They want to take him off the ballot. And he's Rocky, and he's going to come back, boom, 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 and become president. Now the people are going to go, wow. When Trump wins, you're going to see Americans going to have a celebration. They're going to have a ticket tape for it. Now,
yeah, you're definitely right about that, man.
I hope I'm wrong, though. I hope Trump's really a good guy, but I don't. He's a Mason to begin with. You ever see him do handshakes with everybody? It's the Mason handshake. He's putting his thumb over their thumb. I think this is all a plan. They're all in on it. They're all playing the game. This is a movie. It's like a fucking movie. Look,
you know what it is? You know what it is? It's a plan within a plan within a plan. You get what I mean?
Keep everybody confused.
And everybody knows all the charges against Trump. The ones they're bringing up are all bullshit. Now, they probably got real good shit on him if they wanted. Listen, he was friends with Epstein. They got fucking pictures with him and Epstein and that girl there. What's her name? Maxwell. He's with them taking fucking pictures. He was up in his penthouse. Did Trump go with little babe kids? I don't think so, but
except for Epstein's bitch.
But who knows if he didn't go with a 17-year-old or a 16-year-old? You don't know. I mean, they got 16-year-old, 17-year-old girls that look like they're 21, right?
Yeah.
And he was a young guy. He was in his 30s, and he was friends with Epstein. What do you think? He wasn't going with young women? Of course he was.
But Trump, there's this guy called Tony Schwartz. He's his ghostwriter for The Art of the Deal. So he actually wrote The Art of the Deal, and he spent around 18 months with Trump. He said Trump he lies too much. His attention span is very, very low. Whenever I would try to sit and ask him questions about his business or whatever, he would say that I can't answer all your questions. It's becoming too irritating for me. He can't focus on anything even for more than a minute. So Tony Schwartz had said he was the original writer for The Art of the Deal. Trump lies a lot, actually, and he's too materialistic and too greedy, and nothing satisfies him in life. He's like a black hole. So Tony Schwartz knows Trump better than everyone else because he wrote The Art of the Deal. He's the ghostwriter.
But here's the problem. We have to pick our poison, right? Now, I'm hoping Trump ain't the Antichrist right off the bat.
Nah.
So now Trump becomes president. Our life is going to get better in America. There's no doubt. But what else is going to happen? See, that's the key.
Well, at what cost?
What is their plan to get him back in? Because if he gets back in, it's because they're letting him back in. Because he's part of the game. I can't see that they could cheat once. They can't cheat. They've been cheating for years. Obama won the first time, legit. People voted for him because they thought he was going to bring change. The second time Obama ran, he did not win. He lost, but they cheated. They've been controlling the elections for a long, long, long time. And how they do it, they don't rig every state. They just rigged a couple of swing states. That's it. That's all you got to do. 4 or 5 states. And because you're always going to get a certain amount of people vote Republican no matter what in certain states, like Missouri. It's a red state. And you're always going to have your blue states. But there are swing states that are like, and that's the ones they rigged, them 4 or 5 states, like Nevada, Arizona. But even California, they claim is a red state. There's a lot of conservative people live in California. It's just that they've been rigging it. So this is why I say this is some scary shit, because I think no matter who gets in there, there's an agenda. Now, pick your poison. I hope I'm wrong. Listen, I hope Trump is our savior. But I just don't see that they would allow all this to happen. Listen, they whacked JFK because he didn't want to cooperate. You know, I mean.
Also, Reagan. Reagan was a nice president. They tried to whack him. He changed his tune.
Now, they tried to kill Trump a few times, too. But nothing like them guys, because I think Trump has, with the technology today, it's a little harder to kill a president today than it was. But they can always poison his food or something. He's got to eat, right? Now, the funny thing is, if you ever notice, he says, yeah, I eat McDonald's, I eat Wendy's. I think he traveled and just stopped at a random place to get something to eat because he didn't want to get poisoned. I just can't see, unless there's a lot of good guys, they call them white hats, that could help get Trump in. Like maybe in 2000, let's go hypothetical now. Let's go the other route. Let's say Trump is real. Maybe the good hats, the white hats, cheated to get him in over Hillary Clinton that year, right? So they rigged it to make sure Trump won, because the Democrats were cheating too. Trump would have beat her. If there was no cheating, Trump would have beat Hillary Clinton, right? But they knew the Democrats were going to cheat, so they cheated, and they got Trump in. And that's why they got so pissed off, because the good guys beat them at their own game. But the second time around, the bad guys had a bigger plan. See, they made the COVID, and they shut everything down, mail-in ballots, everything. Now, I like what DeSantis said. I don't know if you heard him. One thing I like he said, I'm not worried about the ballot harvesting and the mail-in ballots, because if they're going to do ballot harvesting, I'm going to do ballot harvesting. If they're going to do the mail-in ballots, we're going to do the mail-in ballots. So he's saying, like, you want to cheat? I'm going to cheat. That's the way it should be. Because we're not going to stop it. These fucking machines are still active. They're still using them. If there was any legitimacy at all in our election system, the first thing they would do is get rid of all the machines and go to paper ballots.
No mail-in.
No mail-in. You got to show ID.
Gotta show
up with ID. Listen, you can't buy a pack of fucking cigarettes without ID, okay? But yet you could vote without ID? What kind of shit is that? You can't buy a can of Budweiser without an ID. But you could go vote without an ID? The Democratic Convention? You better have 3 sets of ID. They won't even let you in there. Okay, but yet you could go vote without ID. Like it doesn't make sense. So we all know it doesn't make sense. We all know they're cheating, and it's like they don't care anymore. They're out in the open with it now. Now they're telling you, yeah, we're cheating. Fucking Biden said it on TV. Did you ever see that one interview? He goes, "We've organized the greatest election fraud team in the world." What the hell is that?
Probably when he's talking about protecting voter integrity, right, or something. Yeah. Like in the middle of the speech of him saying, we have like the most like honest elections and all that. It's because we've assembled the greatest election hoax team in the world to crack down. It's just like, wait a second, it's the little piece of information that he's slipping up, subconsciously telling us, because that's what happens, like. And all these things that happen, they all subconsciously will say some stuff, and it's not even that they're telling us the whole thing; they're just pointing us in that direction, right?
Even they slip too. Like Pelosi said a few comments a couple of times,
Yeah,
and they slip sometimes.
She jumped up and celebrated before there was time to celebrate.
Huh?
She jumped up and celebrated before it was time to celebrate. Where she got up and was ready to clap. Remember?
Yeah. Remember that?
She knew the outcome.
Right.
Listen,
but Ron, this has been going on for a long time, though. It's not just like now. It's just that now they got, in 1950, they probably had control, but they didn't have every politician in their pocket. Now they got them all. Like, they got 90% of them locked down. Like, you got to do what we tell you, and that's it. That's the problem. They've gained total control. And I keep telling you, the main problem we have is they grabbed our military. See, in the 50s, the 60s, maybe the 70s, 80s, you couldn't get these generals to give in. Like, you had generals that were just patriots. If you tried to do anything to them, they would fucking come after you, these generals. These new generals that we got now, the top brass,
sold out.
They're like, that one guy's gay. I think they got him sleeping with a little boy, the general of the army or something. They got him really good.
Yeah, they put your bastards in.
Yeah, so I think the top brass have all been chosen, and they're all leveraged one way or the other. They're demons. They got them with sleeping with kids or underage girls. They got something on them because they're all cooperating. But see, I don't understand the rest of the generals. I don't think they got all 430 generals. I think they got maybe the top 20, 30 generals.
Well, that's what they did at Jeff Epstein's Island. They get the generals over there, They bring a young person there, whatever, a hot chick, you know, they generally be married, whatever. Yeah, go ahead, have some fun. There's no reporters here. We're on the frickin' island. Your wife ain't gonna know. Then they
And she's
compromise
7.
them with videos and pictures. The next thing you know it, oh shit, I gotta listen to these people or my whole life's gonna go down the tubes.
And she's 17 and she looks like she's 25.
Or if they want to get rid of you, they get the media to jump in saying, yeah, he was molesting this one lady. You messed with this lady. He molested this one. This one.
Right. They don't even have to be underage. You're right. Right. It could be regular.
Right. Oh, he assaulted me. He was messing with me and blah, blah, blah. Next you know, another one jumps on, and you think that guy's a big fucking pervert.
Well, that's what they did with Cosby. Like, come on. Like, all right, let's say Cosby was doing all that shit he was doing.
He wouldn't play.
You're telling me that, right, he stopped playing, right?
Yeah.
You're telling me that all of a sudden the women started saying shit? Like, what happened 20 years ago when he did it to them? They didn't say nothing? Bullshit. It's all deception. Well, we're watching a movie script here. These are like Hollywood movies. Well, you just watch it. It's like a movie. I watched the Congress, the Senate, like hearings, and they're all actors. Like fucking Ted Cruz. He's a great actor. He fucking sits there and says all this good shit. And the guy Jordan says all this good shit. And a couple of other senators say all this good shit, but nobody goes to jail. Ron Paul's been going after Fauci for 2 years. What happened? Nothing. Nothing's happening. That's just all bullshit. They just they want to keep us like we think somebody's fighting for us still. Oh, we got hope. You know, there's hope. But it's all a plan. Everything is a fucking plan. They want us so confused we can't even think anymore. Like, we're just like, what the fuck is going on? There's just nothing makes sense anymore. They're all getting away with it. And of course, they're all in on it. That's why they're all getting away with it. And the couple that ain't in on it, you ain't, remember that comedian there? He says, you ain't part of the club.
Yeah,
you know,
it's like
what's his name?
When the corruption, you know, worldwide, just as it gets bigger, and then, you know, the institution, you know, of government becoming bigger and bigger and more corrupted, you know, within, it becomes a situation like, how are you going to keep anything in balance and in check, right?
Right.
Because it's very sad.
They're smart.
No, whenever a movement becomes institutionalized, corruption will seep in. It happens to religion. It happens to an industry. It happens to any belief
Well, it
system.
happens to, as Arun, it happens to people. It's gonna happen to people. You know, it's us. It's the people that have become corrupt. You know, like it's the morals. It's, you know, the everything. You know, the conditions spiritually. That then, you know, all these things, you know, they happen, and it's like, you know, like you were talking about earlier about you know, Pelosi having that record. It's like, you know, and even then, it's like they paid people. You know what I mean? They have people that if they were there that had to held them responsible. They've already worked those things out probably. So, you know, that's just the corruption within the corruption, basically.
Even,
you know,
you're right. I didn't even get into religious leaders. That's a whole nother movie. Because think about this. Back during, like, when we had 1776, you know who the leaders were? They were the pastors of their churches that would have a rifle and get their flock of 20, 30, 40, 50 people and go, let's go. We got to go fight. And that's who was leading the people, the religious leaders. People will follow their pastor to hell, okay? If you're religious, like back in those days, people were super religious, right? So all the churches now, with the exception of a couple, because there's a few guys, you see them on like YouTube, that one guy in Canada, he wouldn't close his church. I love that guy. He told them, get out, you're all, you know, he said, get out, you're all Nazis. He was calling the cops Nazis. But 99% of the churches have all bowed down. They let them close them and let them keep strip bars open. You're a religious leader? How do you allow them to close your church, but yet you keep strip bars open? Then the people, there was only one little town out of the whole United States that fought back. All the restaurant owners, with the exception of a couple, all closed their restaurants down and went out of business. If I had a restaurant during COVID and I knew my restaurant's going out of business because of this fucking, they're going to close me down, right? Or I own a little grocery store, but Walmart could stay open. I'm going to stay the fuck open and let them shut me down and let them fight me because I'm going to go out of business anyway. Like there was a guy, he owned a gym. And he did all this shit to keep his gym open. And no matter what he did, they always kept closing him.
Of course.
Bro, it got to a point where that shit was nuts, right? They did some shit where they fucked up the guy's plumbing and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you fucking serious?
Well,
like
they say the same thing with the mom and pop restaurants around here. These other ones, like Chick-fil-A and all these other restaurants, were able to stay open. But these moms and pops, they come in there and say, violation, violation, that had to close. But they wouldn't violate in Chick-fil-A when people were, not doing things.
But if every single
if you want to pin your link in YouTube, go to YouTube, right where you put the link, there's 3 little dots. Click on it and go down and hit pin, and that link will always be up on top in the YouTube.
Oh,
you pin the link.
Hold on. Let me
go to YouTube. See the 3 dots. Go to pin.
Yeah, because I used to know how to do all this shit, but I forgot. Now go to the top.
No, don't go to the top. Go where you type the link in on the chat.
Oh, okay.
And then right where the link is at on the chat, there's 3 little dots. Click on it, then go to pin. It'll go up to the top and turn into blue.
I don't see 3 little dots though. I see like a triangle.
Well, in the chat where you typed in the StreamYard link, there should be 3 little dots.
Oh, hold on.
And then just click on them. At the end of it.
I'm in the. So I go to invite. I click copy to StreamYard.
Right.
Now, do I go to the top of the screen? I think I gotta go.
But you got to be in YouTube.
Oh. Okay. Let me go to.
Yeah,
YouTube.
You got to be in YouTube. Look up your stream link that you put in chat. Go to the end. You'll see 3 dots. Click on it, and then go down to pin, and you can pin the link, and it'll always stay there. You don't have to worry about putting the StreamYard up there.
Oh, hold on there. All right.
Yeah.
3 little dots. I see it.
Go to pin.
Save. Add the queue.
Yep.
Add the queue.
Pin. You'll see the word pin.
The word pin?
Yep. If you go to YouTube,
I'm on YouTube. Do I have to go on the show? Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
And yeah, I see it.
Yeah. Then go down to pin. You got it. That's how you do it. You pin your link. So you have to keep putting it there. So
in the
people
chat.
don't have to ask for it.
Let me see if that's. Do you see it?
In YouTube, let me see. YouTube up the top.
Oh, at the top? I put it in the.
Yeah, you just go down to where you got the link at that you typed in there, the link, and just go right to the very right of it. You'll see 3 dots. Click on it, and it'll say pin link. It'll say pin on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm trying to. There's a freaking heart there. Hold on.
Yeah.
Well, that got me in.
Right.
On the top of the chat, it says participants, timestamps, pop out chat, send feedback, community.
You don't need to go to the top. You just need to find the link that you typed in there for everybody to get on. Go to that link that you typed in. You'll see the 3 dots.
Every time I'm going to the 3 dots, it's taking me to put like a happy face in or something. I don't know.
No, it's got to be up near the top. But not the very top. Just go to your last link or your first link that you've made.
Mm-hmm.
And
okay. Let me see that now. Oh, pin.
Yep, there you go.
All right, I got you.
Yeah, now it'll be at the top. There it is. It's blue. You got it, but you don't got it there. You got it saying something else. Good to see you. So you want to get rid of that link and go down to the StreamYard one and do the 3 dots to pin. There you go. You took it off.
All right.
Go down to the StreamYard link.
Yeah, every time I'm doing this
YouCantFoolPops StreamYard link.
Yeah, every time I'm going to the, oh, there it is.
Here you go.
Look, if you're the bottom message,
there's like the heart and the happy.
There you
face
go.
that pops
You
up.
got it now.
Yep.
You did it. You
I
did
know how to
it.
do it now. Okay. Cool.
Yep, you got it.
I used to know how to do everything, but I forgot how to do all this stuff.
Well, you don't keep doing it, you forget. That's how I am.
After a year, I mean, where were we? We were talking about something interesting. I forgot.
Yeah, you know,
Trump.
Teaching the dog the new trick, man. You know.
Wag the dog. You see that movie?
Wag the dog? No.
Wag the dog. I think that's what Biden's going to be doing, because if he gets this war with Israel, he can be president for a long time, put us all in martial law. I'm just saying. And we got this open border, and right now there's a lot of military men coming over the border right now. No shit.
They say
there's
a half million Chinese.
Yep, I'm hearing that.
Military age men, they're like sleeper cells, staying here, waiting to get activated. Now, you may say, okay, let's not even say there's a half million. Let's say there's even 10,000.
Yeah, but if the sleeper cells get their bomb and shit, we're going to go to martial law.
Yeah, they can take out all our electric grid. They can do all kinds of shit. And when they activate these guys, they're going to do it because their family's back in China. See, so if they don't cooperate, they whack their whole family. Imagine they send you to another country. They got your family held hostage in your country. And they tell you, we're going to send you there. And when we tell you to go do what you got to do, you better do it.
Yeah. You see the way they fold the money, it tells you about the World Trade Centers. There's also, I think, this $5 bill, the way you fold it shows you the Hoover Dam. So, yeah, I don't think they can blow up that Hoover Dam. That's so much concrete. In the center of that concrete, the concrete has not cured yet. That's how much concrete is in that thing.
Yeah, they may not, but they'll go after like our regular grid. I mean, the major transformers that control our grids, there's like a couple of hundred of them, right, throughout the country in different spots. They're like the giant ones. We only have like 5 or 10 of those extra, like for backup in case something happens. And guess who makes them? China. So if they start hitting the real major, the big, gigantic transformers that control the grid, and they start taking them out, we're gonna have problems with power. So we got gear changer from Australia. I mean, how's Australia gear changer? Because it looks like concentration camp style over there compared to here. I mean, we're gonna get there anyway, but like, did it loosen up over there, or they're still like torturing you guys with camps and forcing you to get magic potions and all kinds of craziness? See if he can hear us. Should jump on. Let's hear what's going on in Australia, gear changer. The link's at the top if you want to jump on, because it's nice to hear about what's going on in other countries. Like Asfaran tells us what's going on in India. He said, if you just talk bad about like politicians, they just send people to your house and beat the shit out of you.
No, he probably got with India is a damn phones call scam, people.
But
why can't our government stop those cross-seas calls from coming this way, ripping off our old folks and shit that believe they're scams?
But MacGyver, you were talking about before, we didn't finish. The problem is people are supporting all these companies that are bad, like Walmart.
Yes.
Now, I find the hardest one for me is Amazon. The reason why is I'm lazy, and it's not even about lazy. I could go on Amazon, and I'm looking for a cheese grater. And I click it, and 30 of them pop up, and I pick the one that's a good price and what I want, stainless steel or whatever, right? Now, I go to the store. Half the time, it takes me an hour to get somebody to even show me where they are, and they don't got what I want.
Right.
So what I do with Amazon, though, one thing, I try to not buy stuff from them. But when I do, I order one item at a time, and I make them spend money on, because, they're losing a lot of money with the shipping. They're getting hurt. They're starting to think about charging people for returning stuff, like, because they're shipping, it's the returns that are killing them. Tons of people are bringing shit back. Oh, no, this is no good, and it's a free return. That's where they're getting really hit. But what I do with Amazon is I separate my deliveries, so I make them make individual deliveries for each item. So it's just going to cost them more money. I just want it to cost them tons of money. But All the other stores I could stay away from easily. I mean, I got no problem in ever going in Walmart again.
Yep. If you buy cheap, you get cheap. All that shit's from China and Korea.
Even their food. You buy their food, it's poison.
Yeah, the Walmart food, hell yeah, is that super GMO shit. Genetically modified. So they're attacking us with the food. They're causing, last year, about 150 food processing plants mysteriously started on fire. The guy couldn't, the third-party owner couldn't keep it going, so they were bought up by some investment forward company to take over the food processing plants. They did the same thing with their trains last year. Oh, the train started fire, a train derailed. Oh, a train derailed here, a train derailed here. Guess what? You guys that own these trains, you're going to have a bunch of you need to get a bunch of insurance. The insurance is going to be skyrocket because you're hauling hazardous waste. Besides, you need to go through your infrastructure, which you guys can't afford it. So you might as well sell your train business, and they show it to these foreign investments. So this is what's happening. They're getting our food, water. They're taking us on all realms.
They're hitting us everywhere. Chemtrails all over the place. The best was, I was watching a show. I don't even talk about who it was, but so I watch all these different guys, right? And he says, oh no, the chemtrails now, they're from the good guys. They're cleaning up the air. I go, is this guy fucking serious? Like, now this is how crazy it is. There's people that believe that Donald Trump is still controlling everything.
Well, what's the outcome of these chemtrails? There's got to be what, three outcomes?
Well, they're poisoning our food, right?
Okay.
They're blocking the sun.
To cause a greenhouse effect, to cause a global warming.
Well, I think it's something to do with the fallen demons, the angels. I think they live underground in Antarctica and shit. And I think sunlight bothers them like vampires. So we've already reduced the sunlight by 20%.
But the sun looks white instead of orangish color. Like when I was a kid, it looks white.
Yeah, they're reducing the sun. And they'll tell you they're doing it to protect the planet. You know, they give you all this bullshit.
Right.
And the funny thing is the pilots that do the chemtrails.
Right.
They are paid double what a normal like Air Force pilot would get paid.
And they admit it. You see the interviews with them? They admit it. Yeah, we're chemtrailing.
Yeah, and they hire only like guys that like are rootless. Like they have no family. Most of them have no family. So they don't have kids or grandkids they got to worry about. And they'll poison us because they don't care. They're part of their cult.
All right.
They're demonic too.
And the last reason they can be using it is a backdrop for Project Bluebeam. And when they throw this alien agenda at us, they can show this stuff up into the, the chemtrails.
That's their last card, though. That's their desperation card, I think, because not a lot of people are going to buy it. But what they're going to do is they're going to project all these fake spaceships, and they have a few real ones built, though. They do have a couple really built, like battle stars. And they're going to come out, and they're going to blow shit up, because you got to really blow. And they even got the laser beam from the satellites. They could shoot right through the hologram and make it look like the spaceships do.
It started the Hawaii fire. Because they got pictures of a blue beam coming down. No, was it? Yeah, it was a blue beam coming down in Hawaii. Got people that have that on the internet.
Yeah, they have a whole thing where the
California too.
Hawaii got satellite scanned before it happened too.
Right.
Like what happened to Hawaii? That's another thing. Everybody, the Israeli war broke out to get rid of the people looking at Hawaii. Nothing. You don't hear nothing of what's going on in Hawaii. There's like 1,000 children missing. They go, oh, they all drowned in the ocean.
Wow.
How the fuck are cops there? Now listen, this is the crazy thing.
No, it was that day was for sure, it was another event. Hawaii is kind of like another, a day like, the 9, the 2 towers.
Yeah, it was a sacrifice.
I don't like even like to mention it like specifically just to draw attention. It's like
but how were the cops at Hawaii and they weren't the cops from they flew in police from different. They got their own police department. Like when they want to send, in Canada. Remember when the guy was running people over with the horse? He wasn't part of the Canadian police department. They got people. They make them come in. They put on the uniform and they act like they're the police. Okay? In Hawaii, there were police setting up roadblocks, not letting the people leave with the firemen back in.
Yeah.
How is that possible? How can you, as a human being, look at a fire and back of the people and tell them, no, you got to go back? How is that possible?
That's just like
What
some
human
like
being
type
could
of
do that? Only a
it,
demon. Think about
right?
it. Only a fucking demon can do that.
Yep, absolutely, man.
How can I
Like,
look at somebody pulling
go back in the fire. Like,
go
what?
back? No, you got to go back. And then they all play stupid. Oh, we were getting orders. We were all confused. No, you weren't fucking confused. You look, there's a fire 100 yards in back of the guy, and he's going, listen, I got to get out. No, you can't. I would have fucking took my car and rammed through the roadblock. I don't give a shit. I'd rather them arrest me. At least I'm going to live, right?
Yeah.
They were better off just getting arrested. They would have had to take them away. Why do fucking people obey? How could you obey a cop telling you can't come through?
Yeah.
Now, look, I'm from Staten Island, right? In Brooklyn originally. I'm telling you, without a doubt in my mind, Staten Island's heavy Italian and Irish. If they fucking cops told us we couldn't go forward and there was a fire in the back, listen, I got my kids in the car, we're running over the cops. We don't give a shit.
Yeah, man.
We'll take their guns and we'll fight them.
There's a the 2A is for a reason, but you have to, like, what, you know what I mean? Like, I was in a situation before where I seen cops tell civilians some stuff that I'm like, wait, what? Like, you're telling them they can't leave, like in the thing, and I'm like, what the fuck are you know what I mean? Like, how are they gonna tell you as a person, you shouldn't do something, and it's a situation of an emergency? It's like, we really have like this like this bullshit perception that, oh yeah, like you have sovereignty or all that shit. No, they don't give a fuck, man.
They don't.
They'll sacrifice civilians in a thing as if they were like, I'm like, what the fuck?
Like, even if we revolted, like say we really revolted, they would
This
bring in like peacekeeper UN nation soldiers to come take us out. They're not going to use our own military.
Which is crazy. Which is absolutely fucking batshit crazy, right? Because we're like, people, and we produce, like, GDP, like all of us, contribute like to the fabric of society. But what's fucked up is if they tell you, it's like, no, we know the numbers well enough, and that you're you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine they told it to you like that to your face. You'd be like, wait a second. You'd be like, wait a second. You know what I mean? Like, so we just buy this bullshit illusion. Like, if we're like, cattle on a farm to be slaughtered, and they pet you, they pet you and they get you docile. So that way, like, when you're on the conveyor belt, you're just gonna go along with the rest of your
with your head sticking out. Go ahead.
Uh-huh.
Well, think about that. Like, even with during Germany, right? You're telling me that all those people got on those trains and knew they were getting taken to concentration camps, and they didn't rebel and fight? And then they'll show you, this is the best, on the movies. It didn't happen in real life. They'll show you, like, let's say there's 1,000 Jewish people on a line, and they take 100 of them and they make them go stand in a wall and they shoot them all, and the other 900 are standing there. And you think the other 900, in reality, if this was the truth, it ain't, are going to stand there and go, okay, well, we're next. And no, they're going to go after the German soldiers and try to take their guns and fight them. They're not going to just sit there and get shot. Like, who's going to do that? So this is all bullshit. They're lying to us. Just like with the gas, they said they brought them in those chambers. They told them they were taking a shower and they killed them. Listen, if you got 100,000 people in a concentration camp, and 10,000 of them just disappear every day, I think eventually the people are going to get the hint that, hey, they're bringing us in there and they're killing us in this fucking gas chamber, shower. They're not going to fight back. There was no rebellion because there was only like one soldier for every, let's say, 100 people. So even if they had a gun, if you all charge them, 4 or 5 people get killed and the other 95 take the gun. So, like, what really happened? How did they kill all these people, supposedly? I heard the numbers were super exaggerated to begin with. Not that nobody didn't die. Sure, probably people did die, millions of people. But Like in Ukraine, you know how many people are dying in Ukraine? Forget it. Tons of people. There's no more peace. That's what I find too. The leaders now want war. They pick a side, one way or the other. Now, right now, the Democrats are really, they want to support Palestine, but they got no they can't. They have to like make believe they're helping Israel, even though they really don't want to. So why don't you make peace? Why do you want war? They're all getting up wanting war, like warmongers. You know, got to go in there and destroy everybody. Listen, what happened in Israel was terrible. But that don't mean that you go wipe out 100,000 Palestinians. Because they're innocent too. Like what that don't make sense. Go after, all right, you want to go after the Hamas or whatever. But the funny thing is with Israel, they had the Mossad, who's better than the CIA in the Middle East. They know everything. They know if a cockroach goes over their fence, okay? Yeah. They knew that was coming.
They're also assassins. They're also assassins.
Yeah, but they knew it. Egypt even came out and said, listen, we told them, their intelligence told Mossad that, listen, there's a plan to invade you. And they're building up all kinds of shit on the border.
Israel CIA, the Mossad.
And the Mossad, that was their Pearl Harbor. They let it happen so they could go in there.
Yep.
And they're claiming the reason where they really want it, nobody's talking about it. There's a part of Palestine that's near the water, and they just found an enormous natural gas pocket, and they want that natural gas. But either way, I mean, they're leveling the place. It's like a parking lot now, right?
It's always over the resource, right? And oil is super valuable amongst like most of the resources on the planet, you know, petrol oil. You know?
Right. So what's the real reason why that will happen? Because there's no way the best intelligence agency in the world got invaded like that. No way. Impossible. No way. They knew. And they let it happen. That's my opinion anyway. You know, I mean, you can believe whatever you want. They had one guy that was in Mossad. You know, he retired. And he was on a broadcast. And he hit his face and his voice. And he said, listen to me. If a cat walked across the border, they knew. Okay, and they looked at that cat to make sure like that cat didn't have a bomb on it or something. He said, there is no way. Them guys with the hang gliders came over. You know, they made all the people at the border over where they came, they gave them a different duty that day and made them all go somewhere else. Like there wasn't that many soldiers there. You're telling me fucking guys on hang gliders are coming over the border and they didn't get shot down? Come on now. If you did that shit in Missouri, where I live, the fucking people here would shoot the deer hunters, would shoot them all down in the fucking air, be gone. Be people with shotguns just shooting them out of the sky. And you're telling me that the soldiers in fucking Israel didn't shoot those guys on hang gliders down? It looked like a fucking cartoon when they were showing them coming in. It looked like a movie. Like, what are we, James Bond? What is the name of that? Hamas? What are they, all fucking 007 Hamas agents? They all came on hang gliders with guns. Get the fuck out of here. What a clown show. You know, they do shit that's so crazy that you know it's bullshit. And it don't matter. They just get the media to propaganda everything.
Yeah.
I love when I look at the fucking news, man. If you watch the mainstream media in America, it's like a movie. They're all lying. Every single fucking one of them are lying through their teeth. And they're doing it good, too. How do you lie with a straight face? How? How do they do it, man? Constantly. They lie so much that I think they believe their lies are the truth.
Yeah. There's a point where I think they have them so broken, and then that they control, the puppets, where, like, they just, they do exactly as they're told, Because they had, well, I'm saying, like, once they have somebody so greased, that's like, I think the way they say it, like when they got somebody so tuned, because they've given them everything they want, the deal with the devil thing, that then, they do as they're told, and then they, you know, they sometimes may have to break those people to get them to you know go along with the plan or whatever. But yeah, like they have people that they're just like, you
And I
know,
think that's why they hire actors a lot of times, because they need actors to do
there's
this.
there's a part where Holly Weird, right, and the media are hand in
Helly
hand.
weird.
You know what I mean?
Look at
Yeah, Holly Weird.
Zelensky. Zelensky was a fucking actor, made a TV show where he took over the country, like he became president in a TV show. So they probably were watching the TV show one day, these sick fucks that run the world, and go, yeah, we'll use him. He's good. I like him. Because how the fuck is he the president? The guy was dancing with tranny outfits on and leather bondage pants, playing the piano with his penis. Do you ever see these videos of Zelensky? Playing the piano with his penis on a comedy act. Live. Yeah. And this guy's the president?
No, but he'll be close to a lot of gangsters over there. Ukraine, it's run by gangsters. The gangsters, the gangsters and the politicians are very close in hand over there. It's the most corrupt country in Europe. They actually like put this guy as a front runner for them to to help them out. They put him in power. So he is actually like he's controlled by the gangsters over there in Ukraine.
I mean, 100%. And, you know, Ukraine is it's the hub of human trafficking, child trafficking. All the bio labs were there, and they all of a sudden, nobody talked about it. That's what Putin was blowing the fuck up in certain buildings. He was blowing bio labs. And, you know, there's so much shit that was going on in Ukraine. It was crazy. I mean, fucking Biden's on TV going, I told the attorney general that if he didn't drop the charges, he wasn't going to get the $1 billion. You remember, you ever see that on TV? When Biden was vice president, Biden was the vice president under Obama. He went to Ukraine and told the prosecuting attorney general in Ukraine, if you don't put that guy in jail or fire him, because the attorney general was going after Biden or some shit. If you don't fire him, you're not getting your $1 billion aid package. And they fucking fired the guy. It was with the electric company.
Oh yeah.
And all
for
this
$1 billion, you think he's not buying some corruption over there? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You know, that's just the part. That's just the part that, you know, it tells you a lot about the way this, you know, works worldwide. Is in order for America to be like, you know, that kind of like of a threat consistently, they buy the politicians in other places, and you know, like, and that's why I think the whole thing with Ukraine and Russia, you know, like, you know, Russia was like, nah, we're not letting you do that shit. You know, Ukraine's right next door. They're like, fuck you, you're not setting up shop, you know, like right on our border kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah, you know, because that's, and then the guy that they got in there as president is somebody that used to, you know, do drag shows or some shit. I'm like, what the fuck? You know, what is it with, you know what I mean? There's always that ritual involved in it. You notice that, right? There's always that thing about, like, you know, there's like this sus activity that they have to do in order to get into power.
I think Russia right now, Putin don't want to be part of the New World Order. And what I believe, because I even know I have Russian friends and they have family that live in Russia. And they're telling me that Russia is like the United States was in 1950. It's booming. Like, people are opening businesses. Everybody's making money. Because their ruble went up 300%. Since we tried to fuck with them, then they said, yeah, all right, well, no more oil. And Russia is a Christian nation. There are you get caught with drugs there, you go to jail. There's no tranny hour in the schools, none of this shit, LGBT shit, running around the streets there. It's not like they're going around killing somebody if they're gay, because they're not. But there's none of this shit going on. So Russia right now is like America was, because America was a Christian nation, powerful Christian nation. That's when you accept God and you're doing what he wants, you get rewarded. Now we are the Babylon. We're the Sodom and Gomorrah right now. And there's so many godless people in this country. People are just too busy catching up with their own life and sex and porn and drugs and training time and schools and all this bullshit. And we're allowing it.
Yeah.
And
Hey, Pops,
even the parents
I got to
that's
take
right.
off, Pops. I got to take off.
All right.
You guys take care. See you later, panel.
Yeah, stop in
See you later,
anytime.
Jose.
So Russia's becoming the new America.
Man, you take care, brother.
Have a good
I
night,
think
everybody.
that's their
Bye.
plan, to take us out and make America and make Russia great. And Russia ain't cooperating. They don't want to be part of the New World Order. And a few of the countries there, like Romania, Hungary, whatever, they don't want to be part of this shit. They're like, no, thank you. They're nationalists. They're actually Putin, whatever you want to, he cares about his country. Okay? Just like supposedly Trump gives a shit about us. I hope he does. So it's fucked up.
I mean, it goes deep with America, man. Like the whole thing with America is like, you know, if you trace it back enough, you realize, okay, they had the whole war for independence and all that shit, right? But then you think about it, and it's like, you know, after a war like that, you know that they're gonna be, you know, depleted in resources and need to, you know. So you really think that the connection between America and, you know, England, am I right?
England never let their grip go.
Right. That you know what I'm saying? Like that's why, you know, if you go back far enough, it still goes back to them. Exactly.
Do you know there's something with the post office master? I don't know if you know about this. There's something with the post office master in Washington, D.C. That he controls something like astronomically crazy, like something wild. I forgot what it was. And it had something to do with the corporation, because, you know, the Washington, D.C., like, that's a corporation. It's not even a fucking government, you know, the District of Columbia and all that shit. England has their guy in as the post office master.
Oh, shit. Wow.
So there's something, he controls something with the flag. There's some kind of crazy.
There you go. Yeah, they've got, and that's the thing, right? And then it goes even deep enough to say, okay, you've got it like that. And then, MD, he did a stream on the Mandela effect, which talks about the idea that Germany didn't lose World War II, right? And that, you know, possibly this reality that we're living today is something that we, you know, all the facts have been warped, and we're in a place right now that they've set up pretty much, you know, as a hoax. Let them think that they won, even though what really is going down is that there's some type of allegiance. You know, that's my theory, that there's some type of an allegiance, that if that were to be true, then that means that there's something in on everything. And yeah, like, you know, like Russia could be like, yeah, like they're like, fuck that, they don't want it, they're not participating. And like you said, you know, there could be places in the world that's already woken up to that reality, and that, you know, there's so much going on.
Well, the Man in the High Castle, right? An Amazon movie, TV show. Germany wins the war. You never seen it?
I don't.
Yeah, that's another universe.
It's so interesting to think though that there would be shows, right? Like, you know, because they tell us things, you know, through the show, through like, you know, movies, television, whatever. That we're like, wait a second. They always leave us clues. That's what I've always seen.
I think they have to. I think it's some kind of natural law that they have to do. But there's a show called Man in the High Castle, and Germany wins the war. And they show you Germany's like running the United States. And Japan got a piece of the United States too. So they won with them, and they got like, they got California. They broke up the United States like we broke up Germany. You understand? So Japan has like 4 or 5 states, and Germany has the rest. And then there's another show that shows a parallel universe. And the other universe, Germany won the war.
Yeah.
So, and when you see it, they'll show you like New York City with a SWAT sticker on it, like on the building, right? Like on the Empire State Building. And that show is Fringe. Yeah, I don't know if you ever seen the show Fringe. But the last couple of years, like the last 2, like they had 6 seasons. The last like 2 seasons, they show you this parallel universe, and there's like a tunnel, and that could be Antarctica. I mean, like the passage, right? And you go through this tunnel and you go to the parallel universe, like it's another Earth. And that had a different outcome. Because if you think about it, if God made this, right? What makes you think he didn't make another one, like a carbon copy, like just to see, like, we're fucking toys, they God. You know, we're like a toy, right? Yeah. Why wouldn't he make 2, 3 of them and see what goes on in each one of them? Like, you know, why not? And
but I think
in the TV Fringe, the funny part is the both sides meet in the tunnel, right? And they're you know, like it's their clone, like they're the exact same person as them. But the best is the scientist that was in the movie that America won. In the German part where they won, he's the president. Like, it's fucking crazy. Like, you gotta watch this. And then you got the Watchers, they call them, in the movie Fringe. And they're like aliens watching over us. Like, it's, they're giving you everything in this one show. They're telling you the whole fucking thing, the whole story. Because they have the real story of the world, you know? There's a reason why nobody could go to Antarctica. And it's way beyond they don't even want to give you a fucking reason why. They just say you can't go there. That's it.
That's that Area 51 idea.
Yeah,
you know, there's
nobody
places...
can go to Antarctica. Like, you can't go there. They shoot you down.
That's the crazy shit.
You could go in the first couple of miles, but you want to go deep. Maybe beyond Antarctica, there's another piece of land. Right?
Yeah.
Warm climate, because that's what that Admiral Byrd said, kind of. Maybe there's a warm climate there, and maybe that's where all these rich elites are ready to go to when they're ready to nuke this whole planet.
They let Mr. Beast go for 4 days. You know what I mean? Like, that was like the thing that was interesting about that was that, you know, he was a dude. And, you know, of course, like, you think about the nickname, you know, the Beast.
Right.
Yeah, so... Yeah, there's so much, and it's funny, right? Because it's like, you know, who's this guy, you know, just looks like an ordinary individual from out of nowhere, and all of a sudden, you know, all this, you know, money, and then like you just said, you know, the wealthy could have something, but they're like the mega rich, and so he gets initiated, right? That they let him go for 4 days.
I think it's beyond even being mega rich, even though they are. It's bloodline families. Like, there were 12, 13 bloodlines.
I don't know specifically for
that
him.
have been
like,
controlling the planet since the existence, almost. Like, since King David. There's always been bloodlines, like the tribes of Judah and all that. And I think these bloodline families, you know, they never give up the power. They just keep passing it on to their kids and their kids and their kids. And that's how it works, you know? And a lot of them are part of these bloodlines. All these politicians are related. Like, you know, even Obama, they said, is from royalty somewhere. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. He is related to Dick Cheney, and Dick Cheney is somehow related to Vlad the Impaler and other kings in Europe.
And you notice they're vampires, man. Maybe these fallen angels are like, they can't come out in the day. And that's why they want to get rid of, like, the atmosphere here so they could come up to the surface. And they love to drink blood. And what do they do with all these people? All these kids disappearing and all this shit because they drink the blood.
Yeah.
And probably children's blood is probably the best because it's fresh. It hasn't been polluted like our blood. They took a sip of my blood, they really spit it out.
You know, there's something really to that, honestly, and it's pretty... You know, like, when you think about it, there's something a little sick about that, right? The whole idea of, like, the fact that they're doing the blood rituals and the drinking and stuff. You know, we actually got a guy on the show that he's into some of that stuff. And I even saw this one picture where, like, a father literally has a son that looks exactly like him, right? And they were showing that the father was apparently using vials of blood from the son to rejuvenate and keep himself young. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? You know what I mean? Like, this is a sick ass practice.
Well, look at that one guy that he made women pregnant, and he would make them abort the baby at 8 months and then drink their blood and shit. I forgot his name. His dad, and he's like old now.
That's fucking disgusting.
They just put him in jail. But you really think about it, they say that there's so much evil shit going on, especially under the ground in tunnels, and that people couldn't handle the reality. That's how bad it is.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if they really showed us what they're doing to thousands of kids, they said people would not be able to handle it. They would fucking just crack up. They wouldn't be able to, they can't handle it. You know, and this shit is really going on. This is the sin of it all. And it's been going on forever. It's not just now.
Yeah. I remember there was this movie called Midnight Meat Train. In the Bradley Cooper is the hero in that movie.
Midnight
The
Meat
train
Train?
would Midnight Meat Train in New York.
Okay.
It would take a detour during the night. Then this butcher would kill people in the train, and then demons actually would come. Monsters would come from under the ground and eat the people up.
Yeah. Listen. Do you think all these aliens that they're letting in the country? Oh, Midnight Meat Train. Look at this, 2008. I'm going to watch that today. Do you really believe that all these people they're letting in, a lot of them aren't disappearing?
Yeah, they are. And
they're
even
disappearing.
Liberia also, there was this warlord actually. He was a crown priest, Liberia. He worked for Samuel Doe. His name was General Butt Naked or Joshua Bly. This guy would openly kill women, children who were women, right? I mean, girl children. He would take them, rip their hearts out and eat it. Then he would gain some kind of power because he was being controlled by a demon. He would fight naked in the battlefield and the bullets would bounce off of him, and he could do many supernatural things. Finally, Jesus Christ came to him and said, either you stop acting like a barbarian or you'll die. You better confess sins. And that demon couldn't touch him because Jesus Christ was there, and he eventually had to renounce everything and he became a true Christian. So, and he destroyed that place where the demon was controlling him from. So child sacrifice is something that's been going on for a very long time. Children are innocent. They've got a lot of power in them, especially young virgin girls who've not attained puberty. Sacrificing them to these demons gives the guy a lot of power.
And people think you sound crazy, but it's true. This shit's been going on for 2000. But everybody's trying to be rational, right?
Yeah.
With shit like that, but they don't want to be rational with other things. Like, for example, look, I don't care what you're telling me about the Earth. There's no way that we are on a round ball spinning 1,000 miles an hour and going 3,000 miles an hour towards the sun. And they want to tell us gravity's holding everything down, but you can take a helium balloon, which is way lighter than me, and the balloon floats up. How come I don't float up then? So you can't have people upside down on the planet. This shit doesn't make any type. It's just not logical. Now, is the earth flat? Who gives a shit? All I know is one thing. Even if it's we're not spinning 63,000 miles an hour towards the sun. There's no fucking way this is going on. And 1,000 miles this way. So, where's all the wind and the gravity? Everything is about the gravity. It's all bullshit. So, everything that's going on, even with the government, people look at it and they're not making sense of it.
See, that's the thing, right?
So if you're not making sense of that, how are you going to make sense of what you're saying, Astronaut? That's what I'm saying. Because what you're saying, I understand. It's true.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they can't even accept Joe Biden's a crook.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is the zombification of people, man. That you start to use real logic and reasoning to break down the things that they've been indoctrinated to believe, right? And then they look at you like, no, you're not using logic and reasoning. You're crazy. You get what I'm saying? And so this is the zombie machine, that MD talks about. It's just setting people up. It's creating people that don't have critical thinking, and that when you challenge them, right? When you challenge them on their belief or on an idea of reasoning, instead of them being able to, stop for a second and think, okay, wait a minute. Why is this guy telling me this shit? First of all, is this really what's he there to gain? by telling me this kind of, you know what I'm saying? Because that's the thing about when somebody looks crazy, right? At first, you're kind of like, well, it's not that the person looks crazy enough. It's just I can't believe where he's coming from. You get what I'm saying? Like you have this thing that you're designed to like have a belief that okay, if it doesn't sound like what I think is true already, then I'm just gonna naturally be like resistant to it, right? But it's like you gotta hear them out. You know, you gotta hear somebody out and actually.
100%. I'll give you a
But
great
people,
example. I've approached maybe 50 people within different times, like, you know, whenever I'm wearing a mask. About 50 I've approached. I gave up on it, but once in a while, I still can't help it. I say something. And I said, excuse me, but do you know that the mask is actually hurting you more than it's helping you? And they go, well, what do you mean? I go, well, it's cutting all the carbon from leaving
forget
your
about it.
body and you're
Yep.
breathing it back in. And they says, you don't got to believe me. I tell them, go on Google. Go. It's first of all, you're not getting enough oxygen to come in, and you're just damaging yourself. And I try to explain to them everything, and no matter what I done, I'm telling you, 50 people, 99, maybe 99%, or maybe one person kind of said, you know what? I'm gonna go look into it. The other 49 looked at me like, no, you're fucking crazy. I believe my belief. And it's crazy. Why won't people, like you said, rationally sit down and go, maybe there's something to that? Because if I do breathe out, where's that carbon going? It's coming back in my lungs. It's the mask is damaging people.
They found in autopsies for the first time, they found traces of microplastic deep within the recesses of people's lungs.
From the mask.
And this is from from those piece of shit cotton garbage masks that, and then you think about the science behind it all. It's like it doesn't make any fucking sense. You're really telling me that a germ that's that microscopic doesn't go through this piece of crap? You know
Well,
what
I
I mean?
used to
Like
tell people that. Here's what I used to tell people. I say, do you know that the virus particle is smaller than my fart particle? And they would look at me like I'm crazy. I go, yeah. So when I fart, do you smell it through that mask? If I fart, they would go like, yeah. I go, well, then what do you think? That ain't getting through the mask either? Of course it is. So what the hell's wrong with you?
You said when he farts.
Yeah, I want to like just fart and tell them, do you smell it? Yeah. Well, guess what? My fart particles are thicker than the COVID particles. So good luck trying to avoid catching whatever biological weapon that they planted on us. You cannot make people understand anymore. They're like you said, they have their own belief system and that's it. They will not even think. Let me see what my.
Oh shit, man! Yeah, Pops is he's a real one, man. He's a cool individual.
Yeah.
That's room, brother. What's up with you, man?
How are you doing? How are you doing?
I actually
Jose?
exited by accident. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No worries, brother.
What are you doing?
We heard you.
How are you doing, Jose? Are you fine?
Yeah.
Like everything is fine over there?
Yeah, brother. Just helping out here with Pops and the rest of the channel, the other channel. Always on the show, and I've seen you. Yeah, I've seen you in the chat a couple times, man. Brutal, bro.
Yeah. But am I banned on Smash TV? Or am I welcome, or how is the situation? Like, because see, Jose,
I can't speak for MD, man, but you know what it is as Maroon. It's just with the J Tahoe, you watching the J Tahoe, and I don't know, man. That was just like, what? Come on, that's true. And then we were like, man, what the heck?
My intention was to just bring people who are hostile to MD back to him and sort the whole thing out and bring peace between all of us. That's it.
Everyone, you got to learn that in life that there's just, situations where you can't bring about peace between two types of people, kind of like going back to what Pops was talking about and myself about you know, when sometimes you try to talk with others, it's like their beliefs won't let them hear
Yeah,
you out, basically.
correct.
People are scared of you too. Like, if you go up to them and just say anything, like a guy told me this one day. He goes, if you go up to somebody and they're petting a stray cat, right? And you said, "Excuse me, but you know, be a little careful with that cat." Like say the person has like a little kid with them and they're petting their stray. You should be a little careful. Like cat could just scratch your kid or whatever. Be a little kid. No, they'll look at you like, get the fuck away from me. Like people don't even want to hear anything anymore. They just don't want to hear it. Like if you're trying to give people advice, they don't want to hear it. Like I always listen to what people say. And then if I think and I go, maybe there's something to that, I'll go investigate it a little bit. Nobody wants to do that no more. They just want to believe what they believe. They've been brainwashed, man.
Yeah, correct.
School and television. The biggest propaganda machine.
Pops, I've noticed one thing in schools, especially in the government schools of the US, they're deliberately dumbing down the students even more and more. The studies have become like the syllabus has become very, very simple. It's not detail oriented. They're dumbing the students down more, actually.
They don't want to teach them math anymore.
Yeah.
Math is like probably the most important thing you could teach, because everything revolves around numbers. Numbers don't lie. Yeah. Scientists, everything revolves, writing computer code. Everything is about numbers. Money, you name it, it's numbers. And they don't want to teach math? What the fuck is that? That's really saying become dumb.
Correct.
If you don't want to teach your children math, you go to China, they're outperforming us like 2 to 1, like insane numbers. Like they're blowing us out of the water, China. All their kids are smart, and it's a communist country. So what do you think is going to happen eventually? We're all going to be dumb. They're going to be smart. Who wins at the end? The smart people.
Correct.
India, though, I don't think they're dumbing their people down in your country.
No, there's too much of competition over here in the education department. There's cutthroat competition actually over here.
For everything, computer coders are almost from India now.
Yeah.
99% of them. My son is a really good computer coder. He was making a game with the guy that made Minecraft. He was making a video game with that guy, and that's how good of coders they are. He said, you know what he said to me? One day he goes, sometimes I get a problem. I get stuck. You know what I do? I go online. There's Indians in India, coders, and I pay the money to fix the problem.
Sure.
That's how good they are. He says it's a man. They work cheap. He says you can get them real cheap because, our dollar's way more money over there. He said, if I have like an issue, I just get a fucking coder from India and he'll fix it. That's how good they are. Like, so what are American children going to be good for anymore if this is what they're doing to them?
TikTok is
TikTok should be illegal in the United States.
Yeah.
It's China's
Trump was trying to make that thing illegal, actually. It's so crazy the way that all this stuff is like corporations of data miners that take the information from everybody's phone and just starts to like hack your life, basically. That's some crazy shit.
They know everything you do. Every porn you watch, they know everything. So if you watched anything strange, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You know what I'll do? I'll go on everything just to fuck with them. Yeah, I'm a gay, I'm tranny, I go with animals. I'll watch 5 different porn videos on purpose.
Shit,
now what are you going to do?
It's so fucked up, the shit you see on the internet, for real. If you actually stop to think about that, you're like, man, this is fucked up that we can see all this shit. But at the same time, you're like,
in reality, porn is evil. I mean,
yeah.
There should be no porn on the internet at all. Zero. Because people, especially like men, have almost given up on women because they're getting because feminism is really the destroyer of America. Okay, I mean, they made it to the point where fucking women are like men now, right?
Yeah.
If you look at it, the porn industry is really a way that a woman's ability to whore herself goes promoted, where therefore, you know what I'm saying, that corrupts society, because it's like it's not like, like back in the day, you'd go someplace and you'd pay the chick and you'd actually fuck,
Right.
Now we see bitches, we see the women on the internet fuck, and then like, we do this like disgusting little habit of jacking off to it,
Right.
because if you think about it, you're like, this is the most like,
How sick
vicarious.
is it? You're sitting there.
It's a vicarious. Yeah, it's a That's the thing I was gonna say, is that it's a vicarious. I had a thought about this, in that vicarious living is one of the most like destructive mental diseases that there is in our society, because of movies and television. And you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
If you stop to think about the fact that that's probably why the television is so, like, in a monitor, like, that's projecting a show onto somebody, is such a powerful tool for evil, because of the fact that it creates this state of a distorted human being from receiving all this shit about like what the fuck is it when you sit down and watch like a movie like Star Wars, and you're like, this is fucking fantasy, and it's like, what the fuck does this do for my actual life? You know what I mean?
Nothing.
But sometimes, at least we get like, those stories of like clues. It's like, okay, like at least like if there's something, to get from that connects to reality, then okay, then like maybe there's something positive about that. But I don't even know, man. I don't know.
Reality, you're right.
Yeah.
No,
like that, like yeah.
Porn's become an addiction. Like people are addicted to it. So men, like, say, you know what? I'd rather just stay home and fucking shake hands with the mayor and watch porn than be bothered with a girl anymore, because she's impossible to get along with. Because women are so demanding. Like, most of the women in America they're like worse than men. They're fucking like crazy. I mean, the older women are a drop better, but this women lip shit, they took it to the next level. Like, it's way beyond even normal anymore, and the men, I think, have more balls than the men now. Like, a lot of women. You see a lot of women are speaking up.
That's from the atrazine in the water.
Yeah. And I see more women standing up to this tyranny in America than men are. Men are like backing out. They're like, fuck it, I don't care anymore. When men aren't men anymore, that's when your country goes down. And men in America, they're feminizing the men in America bad.
Well, I mean, you said that they're pushing back. The women are pushing back, but they can't. The thing with the trans athlete thing, right? That's been one of those things that they've gotten their ass kicked a lot in that. Until finally recently, they finally started getting some wins about pushing, back against the guy. Yeah, but it took them a while. I gotta say, it took them a little bit, but yeah, they at least.
That's insane that they could
compete. And it's still happening. It's still technically happening, if I'm not mistaken. You're always going to have those places. Yeah, you're still going to always have those places.
But you know what they're doing now, the women? They're backing out. Like, they're not competing. So if you have a man...
That's what they all should... Yeah, that's what they all...
They're pulling out. They're like, have your own competition. Give them the gold fucking medal.
You don't give them the competition to beat them in.
Right.
Yeah, you just say, screw it, and then there's no competition.
They had a lacrosse match they were showing, and there was a guy that said he was a woman, and he's on the lacrosse team, and the captain of the lacrosse team got her teeth knocked out of her mouth, like literally knocked her teeth out, like with a check, and she was screaming in pain and everything, and this is what goes on because they. Sometimes, you get what you ask for. You want to be equal. Well, here you go. Let's show you that you're really not equal. Because you could take, like, the swimmer that outbeat the best female swimmer in America. Like, he was like, he was like ranked, like, let's say 500 out of all the swimmers, ranked 500. And he beat her, like, hands down, blew her out of the water, the best woman swimmer. If you took the best men athletes and put them against the women, there wouldn't even be a competition. So What is this shit with this woman? Even MMA, take the best MMA fighter, woman fighter, and put her in the ring with like McGregor and see what happens. So it's all bullshit. I don't know why women want to be men anyway. They had it much easier back when my mother was young. My mother didn't go to work. My mother sat home and raised a family. And we had everything everybody else had. My father was a cop. He was just a simple guy, nothing crazy. And we had a house. We had everything. It was a one-income generation. Now it's 3 incomes. The husband got to work 2 jobs and the wife got to work 1 because she got to go home and take care of the kids. fucked up. But World War II is what really started feminism, because they realized when the men were at war, the women were handling their shit at home. They were making all the fucking bombs. They were in the factories doing everything. And they realized, holy shit, women can do it. We got double the workforce now, and we'll pay them less money because we got the women involved now. So now all the women came into the workforce. Now they can pay the men less money and go, fuck you, we don't need you. So that's where it all started. It's all about money, workers, If you got 100 million people, and let's say 20 million were male men that were able to work.
It's all about control. Money is a way to control people.
Well, that's how they're controlling everybody. They got all these fucking cowards, and I call them cowards. They're all scared to lose their job and pension. And they're all going along with this shit. The generals, cop, everybody. I mean, look, if I was a cop, I don't think I could go in a bank and arrest a little old lady for not wearing a mask. I don't think I could have done it. But there are cops that go, I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing my job. Well, fuck you when you're doing your job. You're not holding your oath. You're not doing your job. You're not the oath.
In the US, are the cops very corrupt? Like the way in India, the cops are pretty corrupt. You have to bribe them for everything.
They're not corrupt at all here. They're getting paid too much money to be like. There are some corrupt cops, but the average cop is making like $100,000 a year in the city. So when you're paying a cop $100,000 a year, giving them a pension after 25 years, giving them full benefits, everything, fucking vacations,
and the ego trip of that they have a position of power and they're absolute you think about it, it's pretty sick how they take a civilian and they turn it into the ears and the eyes of the state. You know what I mean?
They turn a car stop into a crime. Like,
it's crazy, yeah.
Most of the arrests are from car stops. Like, what the fuck? You're pulling over regular people for doing something like going to a red light or speeding, and you're turning them into a criminal. Get out of the car. Get against the fucking car. Searching the car. Like, what are you doing? This guy works. He's a regular human being. Like, he works for a living. Why are you ripping the guy out of the car, treating him like he just robbed 3 old ladies?
Yeah, it's so crazy. It really is crazy.
It's insane what's going on with the police here.
And then those are violations.
To realize what they're doing,
and it's a violation of our 4A, if I'm not mistaken. Unwarranted searches and seizures. So it really gets crazy that when you break it down, like from a legal perspective, all the shit that gets violated to a person, when you go through having somebody who's a government official or something like that start to put that kind of like legal pressure to violate your right, basically. And I mean, like you think about it, it's like you don't really have rights. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing can give you rights, so therefore it's like you don't really have them. You have an idea of what you have, but you have to understand that because they violate them so readily. It's like, what do you really? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you really have like to begin with?
Well, listen, I was a cop, okay, in 1985. And even back then, they wanted us to go out and write red light tickets, all this shit they would try to force on us. And I wouldn't do it. I would just come back. My captain would pull me in the fucking office. They gave me red light overtime one day. So I told my PBA delegate, I don't want this red light overtime because I had a business on the side. I was making a lot of money. I had a wholesale ice cream business. I used to deliver Haagen-Dazs, Ben & Jerry to delis. And I had a big truck, like a Coca-Cola truck. And I was making more money with that than I was making as a cop, right? So I told him, well, what do? I don't want this red light overtime again. He goes, don't write any tickets. So I didn't write any fucking tickets. Man, the captain pulled me in the office. Why didn't you write the tickets? Because they were paying me time and a half for red light overtime. So I told him, nobody broke the law. What do you want me to do? Nobody went through a red light. I said, Captain, I went to everywhere. I was hiding with the car. Nobody went through it. People would go through a red light. I don't give a shit if they just barely went through it. Like, it's not like they just blew into a red light and went through it like a lunatic. The light was yellow. It just turned red. They went through. Big fucking deal, right? So they gave me the worst foot post in the precinct. They took me out of the car. They put me on a foot post, but they fucked up because they didn't realize what was on the foot post. So there was a firehouse. And what I used to do, I used to go in the firehouse and stay there all day. And when I heard the sergeant was coming around, they scratch you to see if you're on post. I would hear it on the radio, like we had signals, like, oh, the eagle is out, right? So we all know the sergeant's out scratching. So I would step out of the firehouse, walk around my post, and when the sergeant came, he scratched my book, and I go back in the firehouse for the rest of the whole fucking day. I wouldn't be outside. I didn't give a shit. And it was crazy. But I hated. I left the police department because there was no money. I was making $400 a week, and I'm making $2,000 a week selling ice cream pops. So after 3.5, 4 years, I forgot how long I was on, I just fucking quit. I went in, I put my badge on the thing, and I said, "Listen, I don't want to do this no more."
Yeah, because you're an employee for somebody else. You know, no matter what, whenever you work,
tried their hardest to talk me out of it. Oh, why would you? Now listen.
Oh yeah, they don't want the little slave to leave to walk out the door. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm
I wish
saying.
I would have stood though. I'm going to tell you why, because of the pension. Other than the pension, the job sucks.
We had to do the 25 years, right?
20.
You got to put in.
Only had to do 20 in my time when I went on.
Oh, okay.
I went on at I was 20 years old. I could have retired at 40. And by the time I would have retired, I would have probably been getting like $4,000, $5,000 a month pension. I'd be set, done. Like, I don't even need a lot of money. I don't need to be super rich. I can live off $1,000 a week. I don't need to be. I can live in a normal apartment. I don't need to be like some people, they're greedy for money. I'm not. I'd rather not work. I hate fucking work. I hate working for the system. I want to do what I want to do, what makes me happy. You know?
You think about it, your life is such a finite amount of time that to spend it working.
But we're slaves. We're not even working.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the 40-hour thing a week is like, it's such a slavery, you know,
There's
like kind of like.
Who works 40 hours anymore? 50, 60, you work 2 jobs. Like, it's crazy. Even when I was younger, when you used to get a job, you were always off on the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, almost 80% of the jobs. Just with the exception of like maybe a car salesman or something that had to be. Every job now, they make you work Saturday. You're lucky if you're off Sunday. They don't give a shit. They may give you off Monday and Tuesday and make you work Wednesday through Sunday on fucking stipend.
Yeah, of course.
And they slave you. Like, they make you work 2-3 jobs. You're like multitasking. I worked for one guy one day. I said, how many more things do you want me to do? Like, I was working in a pizzeria one time, right? So I was delivering. I was making good money. I was making like $30 an hour. The deliveries were good with the tips. So I'm delivering. I'm coming back. They want me to stock the freezer, stock the fucking beer cabinet, then sweep, clean tables, then when there's nobody in the front, run the counter. I said, the only thing I don't do, and actually like I'm the manager, getting on the phone all the time, talking to the company. The only thing I didn't do was make the pizza. They have Mexican people making the pizza, right? So go fucking figure. I'm Italian and they got them, and they wouldn't teach me how to make the pizza. I learned how to make it anyway a little bit, but that's another story. So I'm going, well, how many more fucking things do you want me to do? Like, they had me doing I had to leave after a while. I couldn't take it. I was making really good money, cash. I was making $250, $300 a night, working like 8 hours, but I didn't just want to do it anymore. I was like, this is fucking crazy.
Because it's like you said, you're doing like so much work in a place that it's like, bro, like you're burnt the fuck out, man. You know, like they got you doing 3 and 4 people's jobs. You know what I mean?
I worked for a furniture company, right? This company, Bob's Furniture, and they were doing the same shit. Like, if you were with a customer, they want you like go sweep, go clean, go straighten out beds, go straighten out furniture, put the fucking furniture together. Like, they didn't stop. Like, if they don't want to see you doing nothing and getting paid for 5 minutes, you're not allowed.
Yeah,
you gotta work. Like those days are over where you would like get away with it and like, you know, you would work and get your job done, but maybe, you know, like sanitation department. It used to be in New York City, they make good money. They do their route, and when they were done with their route, they could go sit in the truck somewhere, park it for 2 hours, and then come back and go. Now they got fucking low jacks on the, you know, these things on the truck, so they know exactly where they are. So if they finish early, then they're going to go, well, what did you do? Sitting there for 2 hours. The truck was in this. So what these guys got to do now, they got to slow down their work. And
Okay, yeah, they can't finish their days too fast. Yeah.
yeah, so no matter if I used to own a company, I had an ice cream wholesale company. That's when I left the police department, and I grew pretty big. I had 4 trucks. I had like 10 employees, right? I had 4 drivers, 4 helpers, a couple of guys in the freezer. And I
Okay.
used to tell my drivers, I don't give a shit what time you get back. As long as you get the job done correctly, though. You get the job done correctly, and you get back in 6 hours, go home. If you get back in 10, go home. I don't care. And I'll never make you go out in bad weather, because I wouldn't go out in bad weather. And they loved me because that's the way I was. But they got the job done. If you didn't get the job, but I didn't sit there and everything is micromanaged.
You cared, yeah. You cared about your employees. You know what I mean? Like that's the difference between that and corporate America. Jobs that you're just a number and a drone for them to abuse.
Get the job done. I sold cars for like a year, right, for Ford. And I'm doing good. I'm selling 25, 30 cars a month. I'm like a hero. I'm doing good. I had 1 month. It was slow. Let's say I sold 15. Let's say for 10 months in a row, I sold 30 cars a month. Now, all of a sudden, 1 month, I sold like 12, 15 cars. I had a bad month. They're pulling me in the office already. What's going on? I go, are you fucking kidding me or what? What about the other 10 months?
They don't get.
I told them, stop busting I told them straight up, stop busting my balls or I leave. I've quit job after that. I stay in a job for a year and quit. As soon as they fuck with me, I was in a car dealership. I was looking for a job on their computer as soon as they busted my balls. Yeah.
On their own computer.
Yeah, on their fucking computer,
so
getting a job, sending email, everything. Guys, like, you want to fuck with me? Let's play the game. Yeah, you got to play the game now. That's
what it is. You always got to, if you're gonna do that, those types of occupations with these companies, you have to be willing to as quickly as you can go up the ladder, so that way you get to that position of the asshole. That's like pulling the guys into the office.
Asshole. That's the problem.
But that's the thing. That's the only thing to shoot for. You know what I mean? Like that's the rat race within corporate America is to climb over each other. Like a pack of rats or whatever, and to be like who's the head rat. Like that gets most of the cheese. But even then, you still got people you got to answer to. The people who own the company and all that. So it just unless you're at the top of a pyramid, your own business like you did with the ice cream stuff, you don't. You know what I mean? But it was good that you treat people right. That's important, and those are the things that count. That's what counts. In life, man. But hey, it was good talking with you, Pops. And
I'm gonna cut this anyway. But anyway, thanks for coming on. May the Almighty God bless everyone. And I'm gonna go, Asfaran. Thank you for coming.
Yeah. Thank you, Pops, for having me on.
Yeah, anytime. You're always welcome, you guys. All right. So thank you anyway, because it is 3 hours over. I'm on here, so I gotta get going. I'm hungry. I didn't eat yet. I got a nice steak waiting for me.
Oh,
all right. Thank you, guys.
All
right, everybody.
Bye, Jose.
You guys take care.
Bye, Jose.
You guys have a good night.
Yeah.